to your Joro. So Joro, baby, take my number.
Take my number.
You know you can call me later.
Call me later.
Me, I want to be your lover.
Be your lover.
Oh, baby, call me later.
Call me later.
Ah, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Ah, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da, She go say, I be lady, eh, 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 eh. She go say, I be lady, eh. So Joro, baby, take my number.
Take my number.
You know you can call me later.
Call me later.
Me, I want to be your lover.
Be your lover.
Oh, baby, call me later.
Call me
So
later.
Joro, baby, take my number.
Take my number.
You know you can call me later.
Call me later.
Me, I want to be your lover.
Be your lover.
Oh, baby, call me later.
Call me
So
later.
Joro, baby, take my number.
Take my number.
You know you can call me later.
Call me later.
Me, I want to be your lover.
Be your lover.
Oh, baby, call me later.
Call me later.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to call the room to order. Good morning, good morning. How are we all feeling? Looking fantastic and amazing. My name is Victoria Rubadiri. I will be your Director of Ceremonies. I hear we have completely suspended Master of Ceremonies. I'm now the DC, and that's not District Commissioner. Welcome to this launch of Family Bank's Women's Banking Proposition. You'll get to hear more about what that's all about. But before we get started, we must start with a word of prayer. Allow me to introduce Reverend Ruth Wamuyu, who will lead us in a word of prayer.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's take a minute and say a word of prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you because of gathering us together. We pray that as we assemble, your presence is going to be with us. You're going to give us a good time and also allow us to deliberate on what has brought us here. Thank you for Family Bank. Thank you for the customers. Thank you for this day. It is in Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you so much, Reverend Wamuyu. So this morning, I always love hosting events where we have a whole bunch of women. Do you feel that energy? Isn't it different? Yeah, that's what happens when we get powerful women in one room. I think we have about 500, so I mean, it's beautiful to see that excitement, that enthusiasm of your presence here. So this is a celebration of women, their invaluable contribution to society. And I'm really excited about the speakers that we're going to hear from this morning. These are captains of industry. They are glass ceiling shatterers, heavyweights in the courtroom, giants in academia and corporate leaders. So I can talk about them in abstracts, but I think it's best that I actually introduce these people to you, if you allow me. We have the Family Bank founder, director, Mr. TK Muya, with us this morning. Thank you, sir, for joining us. He had an amazing vision. That is why we are here today. And of course, all board members who are present with us, thank you for joining us this morning. Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba is also in the room. Member of Parliament for Githunguri, thank you for joining us this morning. Mheshimiwa. We also have Rebecca Mbithi, Family Bank MD and CEO with us. Thank you. Also joining us is Sandra Macharia, Director of the United Nations Information Service with us this morning. Thank you. Representing Zainab Hawa Bangura, who's the DG for the UN Office of Nairobi. We also have Rita Kavashe, Managing Director of Isuzu with us this morning. As well as Jules Ngankam, who is the Group CEO of AGF with us. Thank you very much. Senior Counsel Judy Thongori, seasoned family lawyer, also in the room. Thank you for joining us this morning. We also have Sally Mahihu, Chair of the Kenya Investment Authority with us. Thank you. As well as Caroline Armstrong Ogwapit, Chair of New Faces, New Voices with us this morning. Great to see you. Catherine Musakali, founder of Women on Boards, also with us. Keep her close if you want to go up that corporate ladder. And Mudheo Kasanga, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University, also with us this morning. Thank you so much. So I know you know this is a launch and it's a bank event, but you might be confused and wonder, is this a concert as well? Because we have quite a lineup of singers. We heard from them a bit earlier on. June Gashui is with us. We'll also be hearing from Wahoo a bit later on. And backing them all is the Flower Project. It's an all-female band who've been singing with us. We have Olive, who's on the drums, Mutindi, who's on bass, Esther on the keys, and Shitakwa, who is on vocals. So we'll be hearing from them a bit later on, but amazing, amazing, amazing to see women doing their thing. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite our first speaker this morning to make a welcome address, and that is Madam Phyllis Kimani, Family Bank Chief Retail Officer. Can we give her a hearty round of applause as she comes up?
Thank you, Victoria. You look amazing from up here. You can imagine. The Group CEO, African Guarantee Fund, Mr. Julius Gankam, Family Bank founder, TK Moya, our CEO, Rebecca Mbithi, our panelists for the day, the powerful women here today across the diverse sectors in this country, members of the press, Family Bank team, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you so much. For me, I will start by appreciating for this fantastic turnout because you are able to honor our event. And this room is full today. Let's clap for ourselves. Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, empowering women to achieve their full potential is one of the most powerful ways of alleviating poverty and driving a holistic economic growth. Melinda Gates once said that investing in women means that you are investing in the people who invest in everyone else. Isn't that true? Thank you. This is why today is a holistic day for all of us as a bank. We are here to launch a proposition that speaks to the diverse needs of a woman, I included. This is a project that has been close to my heart as a woman, as a banker, and as a leader of this project. And the journey to this day has been one seeking to understand the needs of a woman and how to best address them. Women have always been a backbone of our families, our communities, and our driving force of the social economic development of this country. However, they continue to face financial challenges such as access to financial services, gender pay gap, inadequate financial literacy, lack of mentorship that prevents them from exploring their potential and accomplishing their goals. And through it all, women have shown great resilience, determination, and drive to forge ahead and create wealth for themselves and their families. Today's lounge is a show of our faith in the potential of what women can do in the shaping of the future of this nation. It is about empowering women through training, creating opportunities for building them, building a network for them, and ensuring that their financial and non-financial needs are met and addressed. We believe that this proposition will champion for the economic empowerment of women and provide solutions so that they can break economic, social, and cultural barriers and inspire their future generations. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to sit tight and watch us take you through the loyal journey of our proposition and the reason why we are here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. One more round of applause for Phyllis setting the stage for us this morning. Now, to hear from the head of the ship of Family Bank, that is the MD and CEO, Madam Rebecca Mbidi, who will address us now. Can we give her a round of applause as she makes her way up? Fantastic. Looking lovely in that mix of magenta and purple, is it? Wonderful.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, I agree with Phyllis. You all look so wonderful. I've not seen a room look this beautiful in a while. So good morning, everyone. I want to observe all the protocols that have been laid before here and just take this opportunity to really welcome all of you to this launch of our Queen Banking proposition as Family Bank. I must admit that this is one of the events that I've been very nervous around. It is very rare as CEOs that we say we are nervous about something. Let me tell you why I have been nervous about it. As a woman CEO, a lot of people have asked me, Madam CEO, what do you have that is unique for women in Family Bank? And this has been for perhaps the last 4 years. And my word has been, we already have quite a lot for women. And of course, I go to break it down in terms of what we have for women. But the push has always been, what do you really have that is unique for women? And the reason why it's taken this long to have this launch and to have this proposition is because of the pressure to get it right. And why was there pressure to get it right? And I know Phyllis really has been instrumental and has been at the heart of making this a reality. And Phyllis, I know it's been over a year and a half, going into 2. And every time we would sit on the table, I would be like, not yet. And why is that? Is that a lot of us bankers have been accused of thinking that we know what people want. Agreed? And I said this is going to be something that is totally different. This is not going to be us prescribing to women what we think they want. And again, ashamedly, sometimes we even come and brand you a certain color. Agreed? And we say you fit into the profile of this color and we give you that color, right? And we think the fact that we've given you a certain color in a bank, we've addressed your problems. So for us as Family Bank, as we've come here today, I want to just assure the women around this room, it is not just an ordinary event. It's not just an ordinary launch of women banking. through my team, through the support of our partners. This is an event, this is a proposition that has been launched with feedback fully from women. And my team took the time to ask women, what is it that you want to see from a bank supporting you and supporting your journey in life? Because I believe for me, the journey around women and their financial needs doesn't even begin or start or end with the financial needs. Is that correct? It is beyond financial needs. And that, for me, is what starts to be unique about what Family Bank is doing here today. We are going beyond your financial needs. Because I can tell you, there's a wide array of products, and yes, before this launch, I had them, that were really also speaking to the women. But what we are doing here is really going beyond the financial needs. I know we'll be doing the detailed unveiling, where we'll be giving you a lot more of the details. But for us, I want to give you the comfort that this is your feedback from us as to what you want to see from a bank that truly understands and listens to you. Some of the interesting statistics around the globe, McKinsey Global says that if you fully incorporate women in the economy, that you will add, and this is mind-boggling, $12 trillion into the global GDP. Mind-boggling. If you fully incorporate women into the economy, you will be adding 12 trillion GDP by 2025. So you can imagine how profound that is. And in other words, we'll be able to realize global equality for all women. Women in Kenya represent 50% of our population and are today starting businesses twice at the rate of their male counterparts. However, a lot of women have walked before us. They really have set the pace. We walk on the feet or on the support, on the shoulders of giants, women who've driven empowerment in Kenya. However, there still remains a lot of marginalization and structural barriers which have led to limited access to financial services and opportunities for women. So women financial inclusion is one of the powerful levers that can advance gender equality. If a lot of you know the story of Family Bank, and I said, I think our founder was introduced today, Family Bank was an institution that was founded on the back of financial inclusion, driving financial inclusion in areas where our local people would not get services, financial services, and Family Bank pioneered financial inclusion. So today we are here trying to also drive another form of inclusion, which is women in inclusion in the financial services, so that we can also continue to advance gender equality. So a lot of effort has gone towards driving gender equality. However, for us, we feel there's quite a lot that needs to be done, so as just to bring women into a lot of the value chains that we are seeing today. And we believe that if we support the women, both from a financial perspective and from a non-financial perspective, we'll be able to add a lot of women into the value chains that we see today. At Family Bank, we are delighted that over 40% of our customers are women, and we don't take it for granted. So you will agree with me that this day was long overdue. So in terms of what is our new value proposition to you, in a summary, first, as I said, we've had you. So what we'll be providing, and you've requested us to provide you, one is access to financing, to growth, and to investment opportunities. So that you've asked us to give, and the word there I want to highlight is access. The second thing you've asked us to provide to you, and we've listened to you, is that you would like us to educate you a lot more and to provide you more information as you come to the bank. The third area you've asked us to work with you is to give you a platform for networking with like-minded businesses and individuals. And I think we are on to a good start with this event, right? Yeah? So this is a fantastic, fantastic start in terms of networking. And I want to urge you, ladies, make sure you know who's next to you on the table. That could be your next big deal, right? So please take advantage, network, get to know the lovely lady next to you. She might be your next supplier, your next off-taker, and your next big thing happening in your business, right? And the fourth thing that you asked us is, how do we get recognized and rewarded? A lot of us women, we do so much. We are at the heart of our families. Yes, we admit the men are the head of our families. And I want to recognize the men present here. Can we recognize and appreciate them? So a few of them were very nervous. They asked, do they really have room here? And the answer is yes, you do have room here. We would not be where we are without the support of this gentleman. So just to go back, yes, the men are the head of our homes. We are at the heart of our homes. But we do tend to carry a lot on our shoulders. A lot of you are powering in hills, you're running businesses, you're employed. And you still have to get home and make sure your households are well run, 100%. So you've asked us, how do you as a bank just incorporate and make sure that we get recognized and we also get rewarded? And some added the word, we also get pampered. So I am glad to announce that at our Queen Banking, we've had you and we'll be incorporating all this into our final proposition as we unveil for you. Just quickly on the first item, which is financial access. So Family Bank will be allowing you, as our women, to be able to access 7 million shillings unsecured for the expansion of your business and to be able to drive your organizations. With our other products, and I know we have the CEO of African Guarantee Fund, if you want additional facilities which are secured, with our partnership with African Guarantee Fund, your security, we are able to give you up to 75% security discount on the back of our arrangement with African Guarantee Fund. And let me demystify that. So if you need a facility where perhaps it's 20 million and you do not have adequate security, so African Guarantee Fund is able to cover 75% of that security. Isn't that good news for the ladies? So what you need to look for is just 25% of that security. So a lot of good news here. Now we have a lot of partners in the room, and I've seen some from the water sector, wash sector. All those partners have additional value for women who have businesses in the water space. Will be able to support you. And when I've talked about what African Guarantee Fund can do for you, that is basically our trade financing solution for you women who are in business. Also, if you're in agribusiness, you're looking for your input loans, there is a lot that is available for you. For those of you who are employed, you have the ability to access up to 6 million in check-off facilities as women. And for you who have formed powerful groups in the name of Chamas, there's also good news that as Family Bank, we have an attractive value proposition for you. So, as I wrap up, what are we saying? That Family Bank has taken, and I want to assure you, the Family Bank has taken the time to identify the unique needs of the Kenyan woman. And in the words of Michelle Obama, there is no limit as to what we women can accomplish. And it's truly in recognition of that we've been very deliberate in making sure that we power you so that you can break all the boundaries, all the glass ceilings that you need to break. So Queen Banking today is offering you an opportunity for growth, my dear woman, an opportunity for partnerships, and an opportunity for you to create impact for yourself and for the general economy. And when you're creating impact, may I have a special personal request? May you also take the time to lift another woman. Is that a promise? Yes, let's take the time as we get empowered to lift our fellow women. So we want to touch your life. We want to impact your family, your community, the society, and the nation as a whole. Let me thank the wonderful team behind Queen Banking for the hard work. And please, if they can stand, there is the specific team in retail, the women banking, so we can appreciate them. Led by our product manager, who is Rose Kamene, who's known to all of you. And Phyllis, can you stand? We acknowledge you. I saw a few of your team members around, or they're out there. Or Selena, are you here? There is Selena. And there's Grace. Grace was one of the brainchilds. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, and Tabitha. So we appreciate you for the work that has gone into it. And for our partners, we had a partner who supported us in the technical study around this proposition. Thank you to our partners, African Guarantee Fund, who've walked this journey with us. I think Jules has always been encouraging us as to what we can be able to achieve with African Guarantee Fund. And I hope as today, we've taken and brought out quite a bit of your feedback that you've given us in the past. So I want to extend my invitation to all the women here today to take advantage of this new offering. I know a lot of you are new to Family Bank. Some of you are our customers. I appreciate you. Those of you who are new to Family Bank, this is your point of entry. Agreed? If you perhaps asked yourself, how do I start an engagement with Family Bank? This is now how you start with your engagement in Family Bank. So please take advantage of this particular offering and invest in your dreams. So for me, I'm very delighted, as I said, personally also as a woman. And I am not only today just launching a woman offering. I feel that I, as a woman, am also, and I don't know how to put it this way, I think I'm also finally bringing it home for the women who've also always celebrated having a woman in leadership. Yes. So celebrating a CEO and a woman in leadership, it's always been, what is it that I'm also unveiling to the woman? So this today is also my gift to you as the women. So asante sana, on behalf of Family Bank, the board members present here today, and I want to say God bless you all wonderful women, and God bless Family Bank, and God bless our country, Kenya. Asante sana.
One more round of applause for Rebecca Mbivi, Family Bank CEO. Spoke so beautifully about how the bank is supporting women holistically. But did you notice what happened when she mentioned that 7 million shillings? How the room just woke up. So I'm sure we'll be taking advantage of that proposition, certainly. Thank you so much, Madam CEO. And just like she said, pay attention to the women around you in this room. As they say, your network is your net worth. So you never know. They could be your next big deal, as she said. I'd like to recognize Honorable Wamushomba, who's finally with us. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for joining us. Thank you. Now, at this juncture, I know a lot of you saw Reverend Ruth Ramuyu walking up. Senator Mutinda is also in the room. Thank you for joining us, Senator. Please stand up. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining us. So Reverend Ruth Ramuyu is, of course, the one who prayed for us a bit earlier on, but some of you who know her really, really well know that she's more than just a pastor. And you thought, she's only praying? Prayer is important. But she's also going to perform. So I'd like to direct your attention to that side of the room. as she gives us one of her popular numbers. And if you want to get up, get moving as well as we continue on with the event. Reverend Wamuyu, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Deuteronomy 1:11 says that may the Lord increase you 1,000 times. Could you tell somebody next to you, may the Lord increase you 1,000 times? Now that we have the 7 million, if we multiply it by 1,000, I tell you the next meeting will be super powerful. So I know you've had your breakfast. If you can, you could stand up, we sing and dance for the Lord as we sing Gai Muradimi, the God who blesses. You can clap your hands if you can. Gai Muradimi, Weradimagero Ryokweda, Nagotirio Gekoria Keoria, Watu Akoradima, Oge Harorokia, Watirio Gekoria Keoria, Gai Muradimi. Morege dadimera adimera wera wamoko makwa now hege to me yabo kenero kagai moradimi wera dimagero ryokweda gai moradimi dadimorege Jabez wa shiariruo Ashari makemo tuaruo Jabez wa kerera Jejeria retua Nao jehererie Nuagai odadime Ujara ramerie Me hakaya kwa Bwana Yesu da dimera. You can lift up your hands as we sing. Igeo hena You can clap your hands and dance around. Lea dale muede tarakeri neja kufu wa moso dereria o que muy guerada lea que la demo ageche cañina warorere wa Israeli ona emorege gai wakwa timera wera wa moko makwa nige ohe itomi yagoke kokenero ka gai moradimi wera dimagero ryokweda gai moradimi dadimorege nige iradimoshiaku itireke hanoge keno ihana tairema itienyenye kaga ena todo de baby wakudeine ware tware a Jesu nida kohoya odadi miorege dimera vera wamoko makwa nige ohena ohege tobi yago kerero kai moradimi he vera di magero ryokweda kai moradimi da toinerege da dimera vera wamoko makwa now hege tobi yago kerero kai moko makwa na ohegetomi yagukenereruka Ngai mũrathimi wĩrathimagĩra ũrĩa ũkwenda Ngai mũrathimi ndathimo rĩngĩ. Bless me one more time. Are you ready now to say that mambo sawa sawa? Yesu akiwa enzini. I've banked with Family Bank for the last maybe over 20 years. And I tell you, this is the best bank because you get the best services and worship in a breakfast dinner. I mean a breakfast meeting, okay. So we are asking for a dinner maybe next time. Are you ready now? Sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa leo. Mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa leo. Mambo sawa sawa, Yesu akiwa enzini. Mambo sawa sawa, hey, mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa. Sitaogopa kwa mambo yoyote. Mambo yote sawa, mambo sawa, mambo sawa sawa leo. Mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa leo. Mambo sawa sawa. Yesu akiwa wapi? Yesu akiwa enzini. Mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa leo. Mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa. Yesu akiwa wapi? Yesu akiwa enzini. Mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa, mambo sawa sawa. You can greet somebody and tell them things are going to be better now. Just give them a high five. Tell them it's going to be all right. Say, things already better. Hey. Things already better. Talk to somebody now. Things already better. As you can see now, things already better. When the Lord is on the throne, the Lord is on the throne. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better. Maodone mega, maodone mega. Kelele mahali wa mama kuku wako kuna kelele jamani. Maodone mega, maodone mega, maodone mega. Jesu agenda makaga, maodone mega, maodone mega. Maodone mega.
give her one more round of applause? My goodness. She definitely woke us up better than a cup of coffee. Reverend Wamuyu, thank you so much for that performance. I'd like to recognize some few individuals who've joined us in the room. Catherine Musakali, Women on Boards Network, thank you for joining us. We'll be hearing from her a bit later on in the panel discussion. And we also have Honorable Faith Gitao. Thank you for joining us this morning, Mheshimiwa. Wonderful. Fantastic. We're going to move on with our speeches for the morning. We're going to hear from Sandra Macharia, Director of the UN Information Service, and she'll be speaking on behalf of Madam Zainab Hawa Bangura, the Director General of the United Nations Office here in Nairobi. Can we give her a round of applause as she makes her way up? Fantastic. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion.
Good morning, everybody. Dear Rebecca Beatty, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, dear Jules Ngankam, Group CEO, the Africa Guarantee Fund, dear Tamara Cook, CEO, Financial Sector Deepening, dear Family Bank board members and management, dear panelists of the day, dear friends, sisters, and fellow gender equality champions. My name is Sandra Macharia, and I'm the Director of the United Nations Information Service. And I'm here to give remarks on behalf of Mrs. Zainab Hawa Bangura, Undersecretary General and Director General of the United Nations Office at Nairobi. She's traveling to New York today and extends her sincere apologies for not being able to attend herself this morning. First and foremost, and this is on behalf of Director General, first and foremost, allow me to thank Family Bank for inviting me here today. I am delighted to be here this morning with you as we celebrate the launch of the Women Banking Proposition. This is a symbol of Family Bank's commitment towards realizing gender equality and empowerment of women, not just in Nairobi, but across the country. Globally, many advances have been made to improve gender equality in political, economic, and social spheres. My presence here today, and that of several other women in leadership positions, is a key indicator of the progress that has been made in the world, and in Kenya in particular, as we work towards empowering women for sustainable development. I am an African Muslim woman, and the first to be educated in my family, and I happened to be a girl. Women are the economic backbone of the African family. My life's journey reinforces the belief that women hold the fabric of African society together. When you educate and economically empower a woman, she invests in her family and builds her community. My mother was an illiterate rural woman who sold products in the market. When I was a child, there were days when we went without food. I understand the pain and indignity of poverty. My mother reinforced the belief in my psyche that despite being born poor, education was a golden key that will open all doors for me in the future. She convinced me that through education, our lives and future generations of our family will leave poverty behind us. She therefore dedicated her life to give me the best possible education she could afford. With limited financial resources, she asked for help and got it. Today, I am the Undersecretary General and Director General of the United Nations Office at Nairobi, the only UN headquarters in the Global South. Prior to that, I was Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Health and Sanitation in my country, Sierra Leone. My educational background took me through Fora Bay College, University of Sierra Leone, to Nottingham University, and to City University Business School in the UK, all through scholarships. My illiterate mother, thank you, my illiterate mother could not have afforded to send me to school otherwise. My journey from a village girl to an executive at an insurance company, a human rights activist, a politician, and an international civil servant was long, difficult, and challenging. However, I broke the glass ceiling through hard work, perseverance, and adhering to the belief taught to me by my mother that believing in yourself and fighting for what you believe in will get you where you want to be. It is only a woman who can do this. My son is a lawyer, and his wife is an engineer. My 2 grandchildren are presently enrolled in an American school back home. From the determination of an illiterate rural woman, we broke the chain of poverty. My father, thank you. My father had kicked us out because he wanted to marry me off at the age of 12, convinced that a girl child education is not important. My mother disagreed with him and made the choice to keep me in school and forsake her marriage. My story is a prime example of why the United Nations took the bold decision to commit to ensuring gender equality globally and internally within the walls of the UN. This includes ending gender-based violence, securing women and girls equal access to quality education and health, economic resources, and participation in political life. Despite positive changes in Kenya, such as governance and structural reforms that have contributed to impressive political gains, such as the 2/3 gender rule, economic growth, and social development, Kenyan women and girls continue to be marginalized and discriminated against in many areas of our society. In Kenya, a majority of the female population live in rural areas and make up approximately 75% of the agricultural labor force, as compared to 51% for men. In 2019, the informal sector provided a livelihood to approximately 15 million people and absorbed up to 88% of the women workers, according to the International Labour Organization. With these numbers in mind, allow me to elaborate on why gender equality and empowerment of women is important for world economics and to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Once a woman has the means to get out of poverty, she will fight for her children and her society will thrive. It will positively affect women's and girls' education and literacy levels, their health and well-being. When more women work, economies grow. Realizing women's economic empowerment includes ensuring their equal access and control over productive resources such as land and loans, enabling them to access decent work, and ensuring their meaningful participation in decision-making at all levels of a society. Family Bank's banking proposition has the potential to be an excellent role model here. I learned that your programs include financial capacity building among women who receive loans. It is my firm belief that equipping women with knowledge is key to sustainably work towards women's economic empowerment. Today, we have more women in leadership positions in the United Nations than ever before. The Secretary General believes that more women in leadership positions will change the dynamics of how things in the UN are addressed and dealt with. Also, it will be an inspiration for member states to appoint more women in their governments. But most importantly, it will be an inspiration for young girls growing up around the world. As women leaders, we should always remember that a woman in a leadership position is an ambassador and a representative for all women. When a woman breaks the glass ceiling, she opens doors and creates opportunities for other women. Similarly, when a woman fails, it affects prospects of other women to get into leadership positions. Our successes pave the way for succeeding generations, and our failures limit their abilities to break the glass ceiling. Therefore, we have to accept the Ubuntu saying, "I am because you are." In my current role as Undersecretary General and Director General of the United Nations Office at Nairobi, and as an international gender champion, I have made 2 personal commitments to promote gender equality and women's empowerment at my duty station. One of these commitments is to operationalize the network of women leaders in the UN in Kenya with a view to supporting and mentoring women staff members to advance in their careers at all levels in the United Nations. In my view, mentorship and access to role models are essential components to emboldening women to take a front seat at decision-making tables. While each person's journey may be unique, a closer look at our ascent to leadership would demonstrate many parallels from which we could draw valuable lessons to hand down to a younger generation of women leaders. As women leaders, we have a clear responsibility to steer and enable fellow women and girls to reach similar or better heights. It is therefore incumbent upon each one of us to pave the way for more women to thrive and excel in their careers. The network of women leaders in the United Nations in Kenya is one way I can give back, and I urge Family Bank to use mentorship and peer-to-peer learning in the women banking proposition as well. Any organization which realizes the importance of gender equality and wants to support women economically and with education must be supported because it is an organization which is building society. I hope my reflections have been a source of inspiration to give other women here and online the courage and confidence that anything is possible and achievable. If I can do it, so can any woman. I am delighted to be here and to support Family Bank's initiative in women banking for this same purpose. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Let's give her one more round of applause. What a beautiful, beautiful speech. And of course, the story of Madam Zainab Bangura is, she's a living, breathing example of what it means to empower women and girls. It's not a nice to have, it's an absolute non-negotiable. And that's what today is all about as well. A quick and very important announcement, breakfast is still being served, so you can still serve the buffet stations just behind the room and in the foyer as you head out of the room as well. If you require use of the restrooms, ladies is just outside this door next to the stage. Gentlemen, you have to walk a bit. All the way at the end of the hall is where you'll find it. We'd like to carve out just a bit of space to hear from our leaders, political leaders who are with us, just to give us a word or two. So allow me to call upon Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba from Githunguri constituency, after which we'll hear from Honorable Faith Gitau. 2 minutes each if we can hear from you. And of course, Senator Tabitha Mutinda, who's also with us, if you can grace the stage. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Vicky. I don't know what to say when such a wonderful speech is read ahead of your speech. Then you look like you just woke up and came here. Chairman and the founder of Family Bank, who happens to be also my father in business, and the management of Family Bank, to me, is one family. I am part of that family. One, because I come from Githunguri, and the founder of this bank and his family are from Githunguri, so I am proudly representing Githunguri. Secondly, I once was a staff of Family Bank for only 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. When I left the media, my father and my friend, Bwana Moya, called me. We had some tea, and he pushed me into accepting that I can actually work in the bank. He even told me how I will be speaking to clients, how I'll be smiling to clients. And he gave me a very good job with a very serious package. He gave me a salary that was almost twice what I was earning when I was in the media. So I woke up one day, the first day I reported in a Family Bank branch at Four Ways, and I was given a very good desk and an office. The second day I was asked to go to Nut House. Nut House is in the middle of town, just to see what happens in the operations there. And the third day I was supposed to go to Upper Hill. But ladies and gentlemen, I let my father down because the fourth day I called him and I told him, I'm sorry, Daddy, I can't do this. He asked me why, because I said, I can't shout, and I'm used to shouting. Because in my previous job in the media, I was a very loud girl. So he could not accept my request to just quit, and he asked me to stay for a month. But I couldn't, because I felt like I couldn't work in the rooms. I couldn't work in an environment where I was enclosed. And therefore, when I walk into the bank and find ladies and gentlemen working in those rooms, I surely and greatly respect them. Let us appreciate them. Now, myself and my family have a very long journey. We have worked with Family Bank. And that is why I said when I'm here, I am not just a customer, but I'm here because I'm part of this family. My first ever asset that I owned since I started working, not really working actually, since I started hustling, I earned it through Family Bank. When I was a student at the University of Nairobi, second year student, I happened to get to know what was then Family Building Society, a society that was run by Mr. Moya and his family, supporting farmers of Githunguri and farmers in general and small business people to owning small pieces of land. So there was a very good piece of land that they were selling somewhere around Roiro. And when I was a student, I got my first loan, Chacha Nyaigoti Chacha, that is what you used to call it. HELB loan then. And I used to get about 38,000, and I could make sure that out of that 38, at least 25,000 goes to Family Bank. Family Bank then was a building society. And I owned 2 properties. When I was a student, I could pay every month about 20,000 shillings until I finished payment just before I graduated with my first degree in the University of Nairobi. Very few students today can afford to do that because, of course, you know, cost of living has gone very high. And so whenever I see Family Bank, I remember they are the business, the reason why I have actually become who I have become today through the efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't say much after my sister has spoken about the length, the story, the journey most women who are shining today have taken. I happen to be one of those that have come from very, very far. A journey that whenever I tell people where I came from and where I am now, they think I am actually giving a narrative copied from a certain book. Like you have said, my sister, I also came from a family where I could not afford my school fees. My secondary school education, I was sponsored by somebody I didn't know. I got to know the person who paid my school fees later on in life. And I have learned that sometimes God has to put you through those waves for you to be able to appreciate life. So whenever you see some of us fighting the way we fight, for the inclusion of women in financial lines, for protection of human dignity and human life, for dignifying women's lives in hospitals and wherever else you see us fighting, please understand where we are coming from. We have a lesson we have learned, and we have to make sure we protect others. Along the way, I have realized that friends are like stars. You only recognize them in your dark days. In my political journey, I have had my dark days. But I want to thank Family Bank because you have been one of my greatest stars. You have made me recognize you during my darkest moments. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity for those who are not banking with Family Bank to tell you this is a home. I am home for over 25 years. I am continuing to be in this home because at home, whenever things get rough out there, you run back home. I have taken loans with Family Bank. I have paid some, and I've been unable to pay others. Can I repeat? I have paid some, and I was also not able to pay others. But even if I was not able to pay others, I am still in that home. That tells you that in that home, there is peace, there is understanding, and there is mutual understanding. Because I don't want to take much of your time, I would want to request you to hold on there. I know economy is not treating us very well. I'm sure you know I'm one of those that have said no, and I will continue saying no to oppressive taxes. I will continue saying no to punitive taxation regimes. I will continue saying no to anything that I feel will not give us the right platform for progression. But that does not mean that we give up. That means that we work harder. And remember, you can never work hard without saving. So whatever little that you have, please remember to save. Because there is one musician who I love very much called the late Bob Marley, who said that when the root is so strong, the fruits are the sweetest. So make sure you create a foundation that is so strong as a root so that in future, the fruits will be sweet. I can testify to you, having worked with the Family Bank, saved with the Family Bank, operated businesses funded supported by Family Bank, I have eaten one of the sweetest fruits in my life because I have a testimony that women can shine even when they come from those kind of backgrounds like mine. I want to congratulate Family Bank for the success and most importantly for remembering that women matters whenever it comes to economic patterns of this country. Thank you for creating for us special products. I hope that we are going to take those products positively, and I can commit to my chairman and the founder, who is my friend, that in Githunguri, women are going to rally behind that product. I am going to mobilize a lot of women, especially now. I am going to support them where I can to make sure that they uptake as much of that product as possible. And I also commit that in Githunguri constituency, we still support our own. My constituency accounts are all in Family Bank. Please clap for me. And I am going to continue banking with Family Bank so long as they are able to take care of my voters so that we can all grow. When your friend grows, you also grow. God bless you. Thank you for coming to support our family. Keep coming. And for those who don't have accounts with Family Bank, find it important for you to open one today because you can see we are organized family and we are a good family and you are also very beautiful, isn't it? Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Let's give her one more round of applause. Honorable Faith Gitau, Women Rep Nyandarua, if you are in the room, and we can also keep it brief as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The founder of Family Bank and the team of management na wananchi watukufu, habari zenu. I am Faith Wairimu Gitau. I'm the county member of parliament for Nyandarua and Commissioner Parliamentary Service Commission. And this morning, I'm really delighted to join Family Bank in this celebration. Indeed, I'm part of this family. I started banking with Family Bank many years ago. And therefore, this morning, I'm delighted to join you to just tell God thank you for this far He has brought us. And for me, I'm a woman of very few words. I'm saying thank you to God. Thanks, thanks, we give you thanks for all you've done. I am so blessed, my soul has found rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks for all you have done. I will thank you for what you are going to do, for what you have promised, and all that you are is what that has carried me through. Jesus, I thank you, and I thank you, Lord. Thank you for loving and setting me free. Thank you for giving your life just for me. How I thank you. Gratefully thank you. Thank you. This morning we are here as women to just say thank you to God. You know, where your focus is, your energy flows. We have focused to make it in life, and this is where our energy is. As women of Kenya, I believe that we are going far. I know that in our days, we are going to have a woman president in Kenya. Believe this with me. I am a woman of faith, and I believe we are going to have a woman president in Kenya one of these days. And therefore, we are called upon to be focused and to know that we can make it. We are ceiling breakers. If men have made it, we are going to make it. I am talking about women because I'm seeing this is about women. I know we have men here, men who are escorting women to make it in life. Sidio, we have our founder here. He has made it. Today I know that he wants us to make it in life, and that is why you are giving us this product. Let me assure you that in Nyandarua, tuko na wewe, tuko na Family Bank, na tuko na hizi programs that you are bringing to us. Thank you very much. We love you. God bless you. Thank you.
She's not just a politician, she's a singer as well. Honorable Faith Gitau, thank you so much. And calling upon Senator Tabitha Mutinda to also address us. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Senator Tabitha Mutinda, nominated Senator Nairobi County by the ruling party, the government party, UDA. I'm very delighted to be here this particular morning as a young woman in leadership and also an entrepreneur. I want to thank the chairman, Titus Muya. I want to thank the CEO, Madam Rebecca Mbidi, for the leadership that you offer. And a bank being led by a woman in this city, we are very proud of that. I know time is not on our side. I will not waste it. I want to appreciate Family Bank, and I think the reason you've called us together as women is one, to appreciate being a woman. It is very beautiful. Ama kesho kiamka upate umekuwa pandele ingine maneno inakuwa ngumu. So we really appreciate on that, and thank you so much for seeing that and giving women space. I love it when you call it the queen, because you are a queen. I don't want to talk I don't want to talk so much about my journey. If I will, I'll use 1 second and say that for me, I'm among the lastborns. And by the time I was having dreams to pursue education, money was not there. That is the disadvantage of being the last, because pesa ilikuwa imeisha. But I didn't give up. I hustled and I was able to join University of Nairobi. Very important. I did my first degree with a lot of struggles. A lot of struggles. Long story short, I'm currently doing my PhD in international business. You can be where you want to be as women. Let nobody stop your dream. Let nobody stop your dream. Family Bank now has come in to offer even us a bigger package, now to elevate and become the next CEOs of this nation. Currently, as I speak, I'm a CEO of Novamont Kenya Limited. You can be anything you want to be. Take this opportunity that Family Bank is offering and run with it. It is great. They've talked about it being a secure. I know they have very beautiful products. What I want to encourage you, let nobody tell you that you cannot be able to do it. If you've done a business courses, you know what we used to call pastel. And I want to tell you, put yourself in an environment that suits you for your dream, that suits you for what you want to achieve as a woman. I want to state that I'm the one who's going to now wind up by opening this account, because I don't have any account in Family Bank. Na mambo iko namna hii. Mambo ni matatu. Namna hii. I represent Nairobi. Nairobi has 85 wards, 17 constituencies. Each ward has, in the 85 wards, I have actually one of the women in my office who handles Women Matters. She's called Helen. Thank you, Helen. And each ward, we have grouped 25 women who are leaders, and I'm personally supporting them in table banking. 25 multiplied by 85 is over 2,000. Mambo ya pili iko namna hii. Those women have called and told me, Senator, hii pesa imekuwa mingi. Tutaweka wapi? Pesa imekuwa mingi. Mambo ya tatu, mambo ya mwisho, ningeomba Family Bank iweze kukaa na those women as early as next week. You open for them their accounts. And that is what I can be able to request, because I'll continue supporting them. It's my joy to see women moving from one step to the other. May God bless Family Bank. May God bless each and every man and woman who's in this house. Asanteni.
Can we give Senator Mutinda one more round of applause, and to all of the women ably representing us in the political scene. It is not easy. So thank you so much for not dumbing down your voices and using them to empower not just the women, but the communities that you serve. Now, I'd like to call for you to rise up again. Do you know who's in the house? Who's going to be on that stage? Madam Wahoo. The floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Check, check. Hey, ladies. Hey. Hey. How you all doing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Semeni. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Oh. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so excited to be here with you all today. You can take your seats kidogo. Mimi naitangwa mama girls. Eh? Mama Tumiso, Mama Nyakeo, Mama Shiro, all of them are mine. I'm also Mrs. It's about time we got her name, eh? We have been married for 18 years, guys. Our marriage just turned an adult this September. It can vote. And I'm excited to be here with such powerful women. I'm all about women empowerment. I always have been. And I love the energy. Yani ku supportiana. Yeah? Sindio, tujipikieni makofi. I think Family Bank, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for supporting us, ladies. And thank you, ladies, for being willing to just pave your own ways forward. In other words, hatutishiki. Sindio? Hatufanye nini? Hey, 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 hey. Are we ready? This man, he think he's a Casanova. He think he's an operator. Why like the money is fly back? Maringo yako. Hey, kidogo, guys. Ama munatishika. Mko sure? Sitishiki, wewe hunitishi. Na hizo hazifanyi nini? What? Sizubai, hunisubaishi. Na hizo what? Hey! Let's go. This man, he think he's a Casanova. He think he's an operator. Why like the man, he is fly, but maringo yako ya boesha. He's showing off with his fancy car. He's showing off with his fancy house. Kosa lako kosa ni moja. Wafikiri wanitisha.
Sitishiki.
What?
Sizubai.
Where are my independent ladies in the house?
Haziti.
Hatufanye nini?
Sitishiki. Sizubai. Hizo hela zako.
Tuimbe pamoja. Sitishiki.
Wewe hunitishi.
Na hizo
Hela zako.
hazifanyi nini?
Hazinitishi.
Sizubai.
Hunizubaishi.
Na hizo hela
Zako.
hazifanyi nini?
Hazinitishi.
Mikono juu kama utishiki. Mikono juu. Ladies. Wapinduru wewe. Listen. Anicheki chini na juu. Asema I'm fine and sexy too. So he buy me a drink or two and expect me to go home with you. Songa nyuma, take a good look. Songa mbele, pole. Wewe. Sitishiki. Sizu. Hizo hela za. Wapi nduru zake? Sitishiki. Sizubai. Hizo hela za. Let's go, ladies. Sitishiki.
Wewe hunitishi. Na hizo hela zako.
Hazifanyi nini?
Hazinitishi.
Sizubai. Huni.
Subaishi.
Na hizo.
Hela zako. Hazinitishi.
Take it down. Wakijaribu kukutisha. Tell them I'm a lady in business. I make my own money. I can do this on my own. And I have Family Bank to support me. Au sio? Nimesikia wakisema wakona 7 million unsecured. Iyo ili register. So we shall be having a discussion because we want support to go forward. Sindio? Sitishiki.
Wewe hunitishi.
Na hizo
Hela zako.
hazinitishi. Sizubai. Huni.
Subaishi.
Na hizo hela.
Zako. Hazinitishi.
What? Siti. Wewe.
Hunitishi.
Na hizo hela.
Zako.
Pande hii ni kama mnatishika kidogo. Sizu. Gavani. Na hizo hela. Wewe sitishiki. Wewe huni. Na hizo hela zako hazinitishi. Sizubai. Hunizubai. Na wewe hatutishiki sisi, au sio? Make some noise for all yourselves. Congratulations. Good to see you too. Hey, DJ. ati DJ. Nimesoea sana. Band, take it down, take it down, take it down. Obviously, you can tell I'm used to performing with a DJ. Imekuja, default, DJ. I'm like, oh, band. Give it up. Have you guys noticed this is an all-girl band? How beautiful is that? Hey, ata watishiki. You guys are amazing. I've told you from day one. Hey, okay. All right, because of time, nimeambiwa I keep it brief. So before I leave, I want us to sing this one song together. Which song should I do? Just one. Huh? About love. About love. By the way, if you didn't know, my youngest daughter is about to turn 1 in October. She is the light of our life. She makes us so happy. My firstborn is 17, turning 30, because of all the opinions and how we should change this world. Mom, why are girls staying out of school because they don't have sanitary towels? What can I do? Those are the things she tells me. I wonder where she got that from. My second-born is 10 and she just joined the soccer team. So I'm so proud of her. She's like, yeah, Mom, if a boy can do it. Yeah, again, I wonder where she got that from. Yes, and Shiro is our joy. Thank you for those who share with us on our journey on social media. We really appreciate you guys so much. I may not respond to all the messages and all the comments, but truly, 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 it makes us so happy. Gives us a feeling of love. Yeah, we'll sing this song together. And it's a feeling in my... Sio kama mapenzi. Said it's a feeling in my soul. Sio kama mapenzi. I think they're ready. I think they are ready. We'll sing this song together, Cindy. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. Let me see your hands up in the air if you feel love. Actually, let's stand and dance together. Cindy, to stretch kidogo, right? I feel love, love, love. Yeah. Such a sweet feeling to feel love. Yeah, listen. I've been spending all of my days trying to find a way to show I love you in a way. I've been spending all of my night trying to visualize my sweet love. Mikono juu ya hewa. Hey. Yeah. Sweet love, love, love. Sweet love, love, love. Sijui nisemeje. I know I sound a little crazy. 'Cause I am not sentimental. Ever since you came my way, my whole life has changed. And I do not regret. I can't hear myself on the microphone. Sweet love. My sweet love, 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 love. Tuimbe chorus pamoja. Sindio? And it's a feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul, feeling me up from my head to my toes. Sio kama mapenzi, mapenzi siezi. And it's a feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul, feeling me up from my head to my toes. Sio kama mapenzi, mapenzi siezi. Kuelewa kabisa. Mimi sielewi kabisa. Listen, when I say sweet, you say love. Sweet love, sweet love. When I say sweet, you say love. Sweet love, sweet love. Mara kwa mara najipata. Najipata naogelea. Kwenye ziwa lisilo na mipaka. Ndani yake na wewe. I drift away in this sweet, sweet play. Let's move, let's move, let's move, let's move. Hey, hey, what sweet love. Twende, 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 twende. Hey, all the way down, all the way down. Yeah, and it's a feeling in my soul. Nasiyo kama mapenzi. Penzi siwezi. And it's a feeling in my heart. Feeling me. Siyo kama mapenzi. Penzi siwezi. Let's sing together. Mimi sielewi kabisa. Okay, we try one more time. Take it low, take it low, take it low. I take it low, take it low, take it low. Hey, I take it low, take it low, take it low. Wapinduru wewe. Yeah, yeah. Abatu, 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 abatu. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Nasi mapenzi ya kawaida, si mapenzi ya kawaida, si mapenzi ya kawaida. Wapinduru, thank you so much. Thank you. Wapigieni makofi. You can do better than that. Thank you so much for having me. I have enjoyed myself. I wish you love, I wish you success, and I wish you joy. Asanteni sana.
And it's a feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul, feeling me up from my head to my toe. Kama mapenzi ya kawaida.
Amazing, amazing. Can we give Wahoo and the Flower Project a round of applause? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the perfect segue into our keynote address this morning. So you can see the panel is already seated. We're just about to get to them, but I'd like to invite our keynote speaker for this morning, Mr. Jules Ngankam, who is the Group Chief Executive Officer of the African Guarantee Fund. Can we give him a round of applause as he makes his way up? The floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I wish we could continue, with the concert. That has just been very amazing, And I think I will see with Rebecca if you can do this launch in many rounds. This morning is the first round. Let's have many other rounds. So Mr. Chike Muya, the founder of Family Bank, Madam Rebecca Mbiti, the Managing Director and CEO of Family Bank, distinguished women in business, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join you this morning, and I'm particularly happy to see that all the leading women in business with us here today, to all the he and she joining me today. Thank you for supporting the African women entrepreneur. This morning, when Rebecca said that there were people that was nervous, I was part of them. When I got into the room, I saw how the room was packed full with a lot of energy. I got very nervous, and I like it. So as AGF, we are very proud once again to be part of Family Bank journey in supporting women entrepreneurs. Our journey started back in 2015 when we issued our first guarantee, and that has been renewed twice. So it shows the commitment of Family Bank to support the local SME and, more importantly, the women SMEs. In fact, 80% of Family Bank customers are SME. And today, the bank has decided to go even further, to focus not just on the SME, but on a very specific segment, the segment of SME owned and led by women. So I would also like to acknowledge that this has been made possible thanks to the program that we call AFAWA. AFAWA stands for Affirmative Finance Action for Women in Africa. It's a program that is supported by the African Development Bank and the G7 country to boost access to finance and provide technical assistance to financial institutions and women entrepreneurs across Africa. Every day, we are realizing that gender inequality is stopping the continent to achieve its full potential. Not just the women to achieve their full potential, but the entire continent. Because those women, they are mothers, they are sisters, they are wives, they are daughters. So we are all impacted. And there is a word that kept on coming this morning, gender equality. I think the best way to understand gender equality, we need to talk about the gender inequality. So let me give you a few examples of gender inequality. Now you will have a better understanding of why this program is very critical. So the first example is in agriculture. You know, in Africa, women participate as the workforce is in that sector for 75%. So the workers in agriculture are represented by 75% of women. This is the highest in the world, the highest. And we have to be proud of that because, you know, every time we see food in our plate, bear in mind that 75% of the people who made it possible, the food you are eating, were women. But where do we have a huge inequality? What percentage of women own agricultural land in Africa? 2 to 3%. So 75% of the workers are women, 2 to 3% owns land. That is a huge inequality. That is a huge inequality that we need to address. And that's why, as part of this Queen Banking program, access to land, the possibility of owning assets is very critical. A second example, the women participation in economic activity in Africa is the highest in the world, in the entire world. For one reason, you know, we like to talk about the housewife. You know, housewife is a concept for the Western countries. In Africa, there is no notion of housewife because all the mom, they always have an activity. The problem is that we don't count that as a professional activity. They will always sell fruit, having a small restaurant, selling clothes. So the definition of housewife doesn't exist in Africa. They are all very active. And that's the reason why we have the highest percentage of active women in economic activity in the world. But now, it's also come with a form of inequality, the contribution to the GDP. Women in Africa, they have the lowest contribution in the GDP when you compare that to other parts of the world, which also bring a huge inequality. And why are we there? Because we have the majority of women very active, but the challenge is on the productivity because they are all in the informal sector. So how do we make sure that we bring all these women running small businesses, small restaurants, small shops to register and to formalize their business so that they can grow. And I'm sure if you are successful in doing that, the contribution of women in the GDP will double and even triple in the next 10 years. I do have a last example, which is the women entrepreneurship. Once again, around the world, we are the best. You know, Africa has the highest percentage of women entrepreneurs when you compare around the world. We have the highest. So all women in Africa, they all have a business idea. They want to start something. They want to do something. But again, we have another huge inequality. We have the lowest access to finance. The women in Africa have the lowest access to finance. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, we are the number one. But when it comes to financing those entrepreneurs, we are the last. These are also the issues that we need to solve. So the program that Family Bank is launching is coming with one idea, how to resolve all those issues. Making sure that we support women to formalize their business, to have a higher contribution to the GDP, to support them to increase their productivity, to support women to have access to assets, mainly to land, and also to support women to have access to finance. These challenges are the ones that are going to be addressed by this new program in partnership with the AFAWA program and with AGF. And I can assure that we are going to give our full support to make sure that this program will be successful. So I conclude. I want first of all to congratulate Rebecca for your unwavering commitment to empowering women-led business in Africa. You are an example of dedication towards gender equality. When we talk about gender equality, you know what it means, because all the inequality, I'm sure that you have faced that somehow in your journey. So you are the best person today to understand what type of product, what type of feature makes sense if you want to support women. It's not often that we have the privilege to witness such a remarkable progress that fosters economic growth and financial inclusion. I hope that this serves as an inspiration to other banks, to other players in the financial sector. They need to copy the example of Family Bank, because the gap is so huge. Family Bank alone will not address all the challenges that the women are facing. I think at best they will be able to cover a maximum of 10%. But how about the remaining 90%? So we are also going to share the good news with other banks, with other financial institutions, to copy the example of Family Bank and offer more and more products to support women. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for attending this launch of the Queen Banking product, and I hope that you really leverage on that and you take advantage of it. Thank you very much. Asanteni.
Can we give Mr. Jules Nkangam one more round of applause? Group CEO of AGF. Now we're just about to move into, thank you. Okay, it seems I was better off with this one. Let's get into our panel discussion. This is a power panel, to say the least, of women joining me here. And we're just about to get into their journeys, their stories, hopefully some nuggets that you can get from their experiences as we move along. So allow me to briefly introduce them. And then what we'll do is have them introduce themselves. You know how you know your story better and which highlights to bring out. So I'm giving that burden to them today. We'll begin to who's closest to me. and that is Caroline Armstrong Ogwapit. She's the chair of New Faces, New Voices. Next to her is Mama Mwaura. Very good to see you again. She is a trader at Taveta Road in downtown. She'll let us know about her experience. We also have Catherine Musakali, Women on Boards and Networks, a founder. Also, Senior Counsel Judy Thongori, a seasoned family lawyer. Thank you for joining us. We also have Mudeu Kasanga, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University. Thank you for joining us, Madam VC. And Sally Mahihu, Chair of the Kenya Investment Authority and CEO of Seasoned Woman. Can we give them a round of applause? So I guess we'll begin with you, Caroline, just to give us just a brief on you and New Faces, New Voices.
Sorry, this is making an example of how I can't use technology. So New Faces, New Voices is the organization I chair, and what we are is part of the Graça Machel Trust. So our sole purpose is the financial inclusion and the economic empowerment of women. We're across 18 countries, and Kenya is the most active. We're just over 10 years old, but we roll out multiple programs that work around economic empowerment and the financial inclusion of women. Now, the reason that became important to me, do you mind if I stand? I feel like I'm talking to myself. The reason that became important is because I was born in a line of girls, okay? So an only girl gave birth to 2 girls. I'm the daughter of a daughter, and I have birthed the daughter of a daughter, and we have the privilege of literally being the line of firsts. So the first daughter, the first granddaughter, the first great-granddaughter, and so on. So one of the questions that I had to ask myself is, of course, you are born how you are born. So I would often be asked the question of, how does it feel to do it as a woman? And I would very cheekily reply, but I've never done it as a man. But I then had to ask, does it matter to me that what I do as a woman? And does it matter to me that what I do as an African woman? And I answered that question for myself over many weeks. You'd think it would be obvious. Over many weeks, I decided, yes, it did. And that in my little way, my hummingbird way, I could make a difference for the generation coming after me, having birthed a daughter. And that's what this can do. That's what a New Faces, New Voices, which is a network, can do. It creates a ripple. One person makes a change, and you create a ripple that becomes a wave of change that impacts the next generations and those that come after us. So that's what we do.
Praise be to God. Amen. 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 Shout amen. 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 Praise be to God. Amen. I'm Mrs. Kamau. I love Jesus. He's my personal savior. Allow me to speak in Kiswahili because I'm a woman of many languages. Praise God. Bwana asifiwe sana. Kwa majina ni vile nimewaambia, na yangu nimefurahia kuwa nanyi. Yani nimewaona nikafurahia, hata ikiwa nimezoea kuwa na wamama wengi. Lakini yangu ile ningewaambia, Family Bank wamenifanyia yani ile vitendo mzuri. Bwana wabariki sana. Ndio waliajiri msichana wangu third born akiwa very young. Juu Mungu alikuwa amembariki na kipawa. Na kwa hivyo ninaona Family Bank ni mzazi. Mungu abariki ndugu wetu sana. Unajua mtu ako na maono anatakiwa kuheshimi. Kwa hivyo hata yani tukitoka hapa nje anatakiwa tu asalimiwe na wengi. Sababu create jobs for our children. Ndugu wetu akisimama nje, sasa naweza kumuita, naona hata mimi ndio next to him. According to the age. Kwa hivyo ninasikia tu nikiongea juu yake niko na furaha sana. Yangu sasa ningewaambia kwa kifupi. Mungu amenibariki na mume na watoto karibu 10. Bwana asiwe sana. Kwa hivyo wale wa mama nyinyi mnasema watoto ni wabaya, muje niwaambie habari ya watoto. Tukitoka nje juma sana kidogo. Yani you young girls, sababu young men are not many. You young girls, you come and talk to your mother. Children are good. Hata vile tu nimesimama, watoto ni wazuri. Niruke pande ya biashara. Sababu nayo hii ndio imenisaidia sana. Kuna kijana mmoja wangu alikuja nikampeleka bank, aonyesho ile viral. Pale nilianza kukopa. Na hizo viral zote nimeenda nikijaza vizuri. Kwa hivyo hata nami ile jabu nimeongea, haya ingine imeongewa sana na watu wengi. Lakini ningesema wamama tujifunze, ukikopa loan hapa Equity usikibie family. A short story and a wonderful story. Wakati mmoja tulienda Taki na msichana moja young. Nikamwambia wacha tupite hapa tusalimie rafiki mwingine. Alikuwa almost to faint sababu alikuwa na deni ku. Kwa hivyo hangepita hiyo njia. Sasa nikaona hiyo shida ikiwa kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo leo ningewaambia wale wa mama tunafanya biashara. Ikiwa uko kwa Equity, Family Bank, na banki hizo zingine, jaribu kukamilisha loan. Hiyo ndio da. Na ni dawa moja moyoni hata ukikutana na Rose. You know Rose, I love you so much. Ukikutana na Rose ni kukunywa kachai kwa furaha. Sababu hujatoroka na deni ya. Kwa hivyo yangu ningewaambia wamama, dawa ya deni ni kulipa madeni. Na mkunywe sana. God bless you. Okay, my business is in Taveta Road. If your mother is old, if your dad is old, come to me. Mimi ndio ninawafalisha. Unajua sasa sisi tulipo tuko na miaka 60-70 ni vitambaa na kuvaa vile Paulo alisema. Unajua sasa kuna vile Paulo alisema sisi wa mama tuheshimu bwana ze. Na kitu moja ya kuheshimu mabwana ni kuvaa vizuri. Mnanisikiza? Kwa hivyo wale wanavaa vibaya wakuje niwaambie na niwaeleze maandiko. God bless you.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness. It's actually a tough act following Mama. Good morning, everybody. My name is Catherine Musakali, and I'm a co-founder and chair of the Women on Boards Network. Rose is a wonderful member of the Women on Boards Network, and I know that we have a few more members here. Who are our members here? I can see some hands up. Thank you so much. So the Women on Boards Network is about just ensuring that, corporate boards are more diverse than they are. We were set up in 2014. We are going to be 10 years next year. And it's just about ensuring that we have a networking platform, we have a database for women, and that all corporate boards cannot respond to me the way they used to do, to say, where do we find the women? And even the women we have on our boards don't speak. So that is who we are, and we do hope that many of you will be able to join the network so that we can, grow this movement. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. My name is Judith Ongori, and I'm very happy to be here this morning. And Rose is my friend. I got married in 1994. Rose was on my lineup, and we have continued together. And where she goes, I go. Her people are my people, so Family Bank, I am your person now. But I am a family lawyer, and I like to say that I am a family lawyer by choice. And the reason I chose to be a family lawyer is when I recognized just how defining families are. The family of origin, that's where you come from, and the family of choice, those who you choose to be your family, your spouse, your children. They make us. And I always like to tell people, the ones who are gathered here today, you are here because your families were okay. For those who didn't make it, it's most likely because their families were not okay. So we are who families make us. But most of all, I just want to spend 1 minute saying why I'm so excited working with Family Bank on the launch of women banking, because I think that you have recognized that women have faced different challenges, the greatest of all, which is socialization. Because why don't we have access to credit? Why don't we have access to security? Why do we own only one share in a company of 100 shares? Why is it that it's not until conflict when you come to Judith Ongori's office that you tell me, Judy, I've been in this business for the last 50 years. I only have one share. I just realized now. It is because of the socialization. Because we were socialized to take the second place. Because we were socialized not to ask uncomfortable questions, because we were socialized not to take the power to seem to apologize. But guess who is the greatest socializer? It is the woman. And I want to just spend a minute just demonstrating that to you. I want you to look at the big whole wide world. It's very intimidating because it's huge, isn't it? But I want us to break it down. From the big wide world, we come to Africa, continent Africa. From continent Africa, I want us to come down to country Kenya. From country Kenya, I want us to come down to the county. From the county, I want us to go down to sub-county. From the sub-county, where do we go to? The wards. From the wards, where do we go to? And from the villages, where do we go to? And who is in charge of homes? Bwana. But who is actually in charge of the homes? Who is it that teaches their children how to be? Who is it that tells little boys, you must not be cowed down. No woman should talk down to you. Who is it that tells little girls, it is your turn to go to the kitchen, it's your turn to wear this and to wear this? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that the greatest potential of this nation, and indeed the world, lies in the women. In women recognizing the power that they have. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm in Family Bank. I'm in Family Bank during the worst time an educator could have been. If you know, March 2020, 15th, the president announced that schools are closing. And just like that, like we like to say, the reggae stopped. Just like that, simply. And there are a few educators. I have Claudia, my friend here. We felt something that only us can define. And like any other sector, absolutely any other sector, for us, it is like a door shut. And that was it. There were no windows. We were in a windowless room. One meeting with the founder. During COVID, when we were busy breaking COVID rules, we socialized by force. And we joined family, deep dive, feet head first, and built a whole brand new institution during COVID. Built the biggest library in Lower Eastern, in Ukambani, bigger than any public university through Family Bank. So me, I'm like somebody who got saved yesterday. I sing, dance, eat, sleep, family. I am like that, like this. I know I'm going to Family Bank, Family Bank. Those who came with me in the lift, I was hugging managers, Nani. I know my region, Yote, all the way. I call them like this. So me, I'm there, singing praise and worship for Family Bank. I am a teacher by profession. I sit on boards. I don't know why we talk. This is a conversation. I am an advocate for children and women. I'm a Rotarian where I see poverty in women. Right now, we are trying as a Rotary Club to just try and grasp how we can get open up access for just literacy, because it is women. I've been to parts. I come from Lukenya. Lukenya is literally Expressway has made Expressway has made this real. I'm not lying. It is literally just there. So we border Kajiado County. Yes, it is. Now it is. I'm not lying. It's 15 minutes. You're in Ukambani. Just like that. Just like that.
panda hivi, shwa, you go. And the one thing that shocks to this day and age, when you just go to Kitengela, we are not even going far. And you meet these women who cannot even speak Kiswahili, who tell you they are selling you beads. I wear beads a lot. Today I've not worn beads, I wear. They tell you, they give you a number on a paper, and they point, and they speak in Kimasai, wake up, wake up. And then you ask, because there's always somebody you can ask to translate. Is this your phone? They tell you, no, it is my husband's phone. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that me, I'm here. I have never walked to school barefoot. My mother did, not me. Yeah? So me, I don't have a grand story for suffering. I'm your child. I'm your child. I'm your child. So your child is not suffering. I'm your child. Me, I didn't suffer. And I'm not apologetic. My mother suffered for me. So me, I have no grand story. But it is not that we have to sit and forget that there are women who suffer and continue to suffer while I wear my high heels and don't know what else. Yeah? So I'm here, proud of this journey that Family Bank is taking, that it is going to work with women. I look at I've known Rose for a very long time. So I look at all of us as women, and I look at the men who are here. And in women's studies, we say it is he for she. Yeah? There are doors we cannot open without the men. We cannot not empower. The other problem that is also there, we give birth to boys, and we are seeing the iko shida. Our daughters don't have boys to marry. So iko shida ingine. But in the meanwhile, we are not stopping this onward and forward journey. Mudeu Kasanga is my name. I teach English. Thank you.
Wow. I'm really learning so much. My name is Sally Mahihu, as you were told. And I am a lawyer by profession. I've practiced law in private practice for 37 years. I'm also the current chairperson of Kenya Investment Authority. And this is like what most of us older women, we're the older women in the room, say your give back time. You know, when you sit as chair of a board, it's not about the money. It's not about a big allowance. It's about what you can do for your nation and your society and give back. And I like what Rebecca said, that now that we've celebrated her as a woman CEO in the bank, now it's her turn to give us back. There always has to be a give back time. But more importantly, my passion, I also sit on the National Investment Council, which is chaired by the President, His Excellency, and we unlock hurdles and challenges that are hindering investments in Kenya. I'm currently very passionate about investments in this nation, facilitating promotions and attracting those investments. That's the mandate of Kenya Investment Authority. I've gone in head first, diving in and doing the work. They always look at me and they say, you're not being paid for this job. Why are you putting your hours in all this? I say, that's the point. It's my passion that my people, my nation, should be in a better place after I leave that sector. But what I want to really tell you, what is my real passion, is the Seasoned Woman Forum. I founded this a couple of years ago. Maybe now we're going on to 10 years. And what we do with the Seasoned Woman Forum, my burden was because I came across women loaded with talent, skills, competence. Every woman around me was just such a powerhouse. And I used to say to myself, do we know how loaded we are, how powerful we are, how knowledgeable we are? What are we doing with that? How are we impacting? How are we transforming? And I teach about, when I do the mentorship programs, I teach about the 7 mountains of influence, where I say each one of us is called or ordained to influence a particular sector in society, whether it's business and economy, like Rebecca, whether it is media, whether it is politics and governance, like our politician women here, whether it is family, church, entertainment and arts, like Wahoo. We are all called to a particular mountain in society. Now, our mandate from God is to make sure that when you step into that place, you influence it, you transform lives, you change the bad that you found and bring the good. And ultimately, you leave a legacy on that mountain. You are a voice on that mountain that cannot be ignored. When they want government policies, even global organizations want policy, let your name be the name they call. Your name be, it cannot be ignored. Your voice cannot be ignored because you have footprints on your mountain and you're making a difference. So I have a program, a mentorship program based on 7 pillars. And those 7 pillars I call the 7 Ps. We deal with your person. Who are you? Who are you born to be? Are you living the authentic self? Because unless you are operating as the who you are born to be, then you cannot be effective. The second P is about purpose. Are you actually doing what you are born and gifted and ordained to do? Madam Wamushomba told us how she was supposed to work in the bank. You know, sometimes people have agendas for us. They purpose for us. But you must be the one to be strong enough like her to say, this doesn't feel like my place of purpose. This doesn't feel like my place of assignment. This is not where I feel my giftings have been gifted for. Finding your purpose. Where are you? What have you been created to do? What were you born to do? You must find that place, whatever it is. Because it is in that place, it is in that purpose that you will thrive the most. Because you thrive in what you have been gifted, ordained, and skilled to do. The other P is your place, the mountain of influence. Where are you supposed to be? Locating that place is crucial. Because again, as I say, you can only thrive. There's a grace to thrive where in your place of assignment, in your place of purpose. When you go to the wrong mountain, I purport to be a media personality and I'm not. I will not thrive. I will wither there. I have to be in a place where the giftings are there, I'm ordained there, and sharpen my gifts there and fulfill my purpose there. Now, the other P is your people. Relationships, networks are crucial. When it comes to you fulfilling and doing what you need to do successfully, you must learn who are your people. Who are my destiny helpers? Who am I supposed to walk this journey with? Disconnect from wrong relationships and friendships that are wasting your time and connect to the right friendships and relationships and networks that are propelling you to finish your journey and fulfill your purpose and destiny. And the other P is your process. What we must constantly remember is that everything we will ultimately succeed in doing has to go, there's a process to it. You don't wake up micro-oven and succeed overnight. There's a process. There is a price to pay. There's sacrifices to be made. And learning how to survive that process and remain strong and even grow stronger from it is key. That's my P on process. You must survive the storms of life. Just because you underwent a divorce doesn't mean you suddenly resign from the bank. You must be able to survive every storm and stand and continue. You must be able to smile in the rain. You know, sometimes I say, if you knew what I left at my home, if you knew the madgodos and madenas in my own life, and yet I'm standing here with red lipstick and talking to you, you think I have no issues. But all of us have issues. In fact, if we were told that everybody here, come and say what's wrong, we would take 3-4 days here. But we show up, we smile, and we empower other women. We don't have excuses. So that's the process. And then the other P is your principles. Your principles. I strongly believe that if we're going to make a mark, a good mark, leave a good legacy, we must do it the right way. We must have values. There must be integrity. There must be dignity. We mustn't step on each other to get to where we are getting. We don't have to sleep with the boss to get the promotion. We can make it through principles and values and ethics and come out strong. And at the end of the day, they'll point at you and say, she got to where she got and she didn't break the rules. She pleased God in the way she handled her issues. And then the last P, the 7th P, is about your prize with a Z. You've paid the price with a C. You get the prize with a Z. There's always a reward. You find yourself having come to a certain level in society, in the corporate sector, wherever it is you are. And those promotions and those and your influence, and those are rewards. That's what I call the prize. It's never in vain. Ultimately, you will lay hold of the prize you're supposed to lay hold of once you do it right. When it comes to the woman, empowering the woman, you can empower me with technical skills. And technical skills, in fact, I find we are so clever. You know me, I've never come across a foolish woman. We are clever. We have the degrees, we have the MBAs. You know, we have the technical skills. My heartbeat and my burden is that those technical skills, my law degree, my master's in law, must be supported by the right soft skills. If I don't have character, if I don't have manners, if I've got bad habits, if I have dysfunctions and no emotional intelligence, if I don't have the soft skills, I will collapse in the technical skills. We've seen women who come to a very high place of appointment. You can even be top in a sector. You've just been, then one little issue, a little soft skill brings you tumbling down. And that's what I teach. How do we work on the soft skills to support the technical hard skills so that we're holistic in everything we do? Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sally. See, this is what happens when you give a handheld mic to some power women and the gooseneck mics refuse to work. It becomes a motivational session, but absolutely fantastic. I think I'll just ask one question to all of you because we need to wrap this up. But let me start with you, Caroline, because, you talked about, the lineage you come from, being the first of first in terms of a woman. I know New Faces, New Voices is really big on financial inclusion in the Gracia Machel Trust. How important and why is it important to have a gender lens, especially as a financial institution when tackling the needs of women?
Sorry, can I stand again? I can't help it, I have to stand. Women, very simply put, are different. We live different lives, we face different pressures, and like Sally said, we will get up and smile every day and do what needs to be done and deal with what needs to be dealt with. But we do have less access to finance and therefore less access to our own economic empowerment, but we're doing it. So when we look at the statistics of GDP and everything, it's not because we're not doing it, it's because we're not counted. So it's not measured. Our contributions are not measured. We're not able to access finance, and for three main reasons. One, we do have less education. Even if you look at the Kenyan statistics, we drop out. Okay, first of all, across this country, many girls for 4 to 5 days every single month are not going to be in school. The teacher does not rewind for those kids, huh? There's no rewinding for you. Yet we still perform very well, the few that get through. So we drop out educationally, all right? And like we heard earlier, some of us drop out because we have no choice. Economically, you become an asset that can be traded to generate income for a family, okay? So we have less education. We have less income. We earn less income. And in Kenya, sadly, the gender pay gap is growing. We've gone from 31% 4 years ago to 46. So now look at the man next to you and ask him what his paycheck is. Yeah. The pay gap is 46%, okay? So we're earning less than men in similar jobs. Also because we're not asking. Yeah. We undervalue ourselves, okay? And then we do what I call, we're over-thankful. We go into a meeting, we go into negotiation, we go and ask for anything, okay? So we'll go and ask for a paycheck, we'll ask for a figure, whatever it may be, and then they give it to us. We'll go ask for a loan, and then it will be given to us. And we go, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you so much. First of all, the person giving it to you has targets, okay? They have a portfolio. They have expectations that they also must meet. So wait for them after you say thank you, for them to thank you, okay? So the second is income. Then assets, we talked about it. To just take the most obvious one is land ownership. So how many of us in this room were shocked when we discovered that Africa's land ownership is 2 to 3%? We all knew? Okay. What is Kenya's? It's 1. It's 1. 1. This one finger is how much we own. So in this room, we own this corner of the stage. Is what we actually own, okay, in terms of land ownership. So we don't have the assets, which is why the unsecured facilities become critical. I keep saying that looking through the gender lens is different because we face different things. We also drive economies. We trade. We've been trading for the longest time. We've been trading in the communities in which we live for the longest time. We have been the biggest providers of credit. We are the best risk. Ask M-Pesa. Where is the volume of M-Shwari loans? Where is the volume? What part of the day is the volume of M-Shwari loans? It's just before sunrise. Why is that? Because we're going to the market. We're buying goods and they're paid off before 11 a.m. Okay? So we are the best risk. I used to work, I was in banking for, there's a point where you lose count. I think it was 22 years. Okay. In those 22 years, how many times did we have, especially a mortgage in trouble, mortgaged usually by the husband, and when it would get into trouble, we'd say, go get your wife. Go get your wife. What do you think would happen to the performance of the loan? You see, we all know the answers. It turns around, okay, because she's not going to let it go. But by the same token, she will apply for funding. Globally, women in Africa get less than 0.05 of global funding available. The numbers just get smaller and smaller. Yet in Africa, we are half the population. The smallest population in Africa is 47% women. Smallest. Okay? So you start to look at the numbers, we're only 30% of entrepreneurs, but we're not getting the funding. You look at the size of a ticket, we need $10,000. The only people that want to talk to us are $100,000. Okay, so we don't qualify to actually get the money. So we can't grow. And the funding gap released in July by actually African Development Bank is $42 billion on this continent, is the funding gap between men and women. We are a better risk. Even the UN said lend to women is simply smart economics. We build GDPs, we build communities, we're natural traders, we are naturally a better risk. We have the ideas, we just need them to be banked and funded for us. So it's actually almost obvious. And like somebody said, having women at the table is inclusion. I think we need to move beyond or redefine. Because what we do is we go over here and then we ask women for their opinions. Okay? Then they go back to the room and make the decisions. Then they come back to us and tell us, and this is what we decided. Say thank you. Yeah? Inclusion must be different, is we have to be at the table. So when you see propositions built by women for women, those start to become winners. They start to change the dynamic for all of us. And every single one of us should be accessing it, okay? And if we're not accessing it, we should be enabling others to access it. We can make changes, we can control, and sometimes it means the shouting that we were talking about. But it also means equity. It's moving from equality, which is fighting for our rights. You can't ignore half a population, surely. Fighting for our rights. To equity, where it's just fair access to opportunities. It just must be fair, not fighting for our rights. So the gender lens is not optional for success. It is mandatory.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Caroline. Let me come to you, Catherine, because you talked about getting more women on boards. We know the challenge there here in Kenya. I'm going to spare you all the numbers. We know unconscious bias exists. We know the tiara syndrome of women waiting to be handed something exists. So how do you change the culture, the attitudes within organizations to create more of that gender diversity within the board?
Thank you very much, Vicky. I think the first thing you have to do is to create awareness. Create awareness about the problem. And it's not about women speaking to themselves, but women working with each other and also with men. Because if you create awareness in women, but the men are not aware of what you're doing, then you're not actually getting where you want to be. So ensuring that within organizations, you have policies that support, gender diversity, policies that support women rising into leadership, policies that recognize the special circumstances that women have. In this country, I look forward to having more and more organizations that have gender-enabling policies. Policies such as, start from gender budgeting. As an organization, you have X number of women, X number of women are going to go on leave, you budget for them. So that you don't take that leave that they take when they go on maternity leave as a cost. It's already budgeted for within your your numbers. Two, just ensuring that you have things like job share. Why must I work 5 days a week if I don't want to work 5 days a week as a woman? Why? Why can't I share a job with Caroline if I don't mind getting half the money and she can go and look after her children and I look after my children the rest of the time? Telecommuting, allowing women to work from home. The other thing that we must do as organizations is to build the capacity of our women. Intentionally start from hiring women and helping them visualize for themselves where they need to be. Let me tell you, when you join an organization and you focus on being a CEO from day one, you work towards that. CEO roles, as Rebecca will tell you, don't just come by, oops, I've become a CEO. You have purposed to become a CEO. Your organization has supported you to become a CEO. You have grown your capacity to becoming a CEO, and therefore you find yourself in that role. The more we have women at the decision-making table, the more we can influence the policies around gender diversity, gender equality, so on and so forth. The other thing we must do is to ensure that we create a pipeline. At Women on Boards Network, we do have a junior wing that starts from right at the age of 12. And the reason is simple, that you must grow up knowing that you want to get there. You want to get to the top. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to run your own business. And so making sure that that pipeline does not start when we have already started working is important. Let's reach out to all the young girls. Let's, teach them about business. Let's teach them about, being the best in their game. Let's teach them about leadership and ensuring that they're the best leaders that they can be. So capacity building is important. Tackling stereotypes and unconscious bias, not just in women alone, but also in men. Even as women ourselves, we have our own biases. And one of the things that I come across amongst us women is, I'm not good enough. So we don't put ourselves forward. And studies have shown that women will apply for a role when they tick, how much? 100%. How many? 100% of the job requirements. But men? 60%. So are you surprised when the man who qualifies, who has the 60% requirements, gets the job and you don't get it? You shouldn't, because you did not put yourself forward. You shouldn't. So just teaching and helping women to actually put themselves forward is important. Let me end by speaking about Me Limited. There is an organization called Me Limited, and Me Limited is me. So say your name and say limited at the end. Catherine Limited, I have to work on Catherine Limited if I want to get somewhere. Why do we spend time talking about strategy for companies, talking about risk management for companies, talking about acquiring customers for clients, talking about the future, innovation, so on and so forth for companies, and we forget ourselves? So what is our strategy for getting where we want to be? What is our risk management strategy around the challenges that we face? How do we manage, the issues? Every one of us has things that draw them back. How do we manage them? How do you build Me Limited so that you're the best there is? And you must focus on Me Limited from a point of yourself, and Sally talked about this, your own behaviors, your own character, your own, all of you. And nobody talks about you better than you do. So you must be able to articulate your skills. Secondly, from a professional perspective, spend time, developing your professional, career, so on and so forth. But lastly, networking. and networking in the right places. We miss out on opportunities as women because we don't network in the right places. And the networks that men have may not necessarily work for us. Let's create our own networks. Meet Caroline, meet Sally, meet Vicky. They'll tell you about the opportunities that they are there. And hold each other's hand and speak about each other and propel each other. If I cannot take on a board position because I don't have any more capacity to do that, why can't I say Judy is available? You know, so that we are helping each other get to where we want to be. But Me Limited is really the key to ensuring that women are sitting at the decision-making table, that women are developing themselves, including financial inclusions that we have talked about. So please, let's start from today and let's work on who we are, even as we talk about what others can do for us. Let's talk about what we need to resolve within ourselves so that we get to those decision-making tables. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Judy, let me come to you as we quickly talk about sustainability of business. And we know that's linked to continuity. When you're advising, for instance, women-owned business, and they counter some legal issues, what are the most common that you find? And what kind of advice do you give them to kind of circumvent them as they continue with the growth of their business?
Thank you, Victoria. Like I said from the beginning, I'm a family lawyer. So from that perspective, I think the greatest challenge to business continuity is unresolved conflict. And there is unresolved conflict at the business level and at the family level. And what happens when you have unresolved conflict is that it saps your energy. It saps your finances. It saps a lot. And it continues to rumble, you know, like a volcano about to erupt. Eventually, it erupts. So what would I like to say to women here? That unresolved conflict in a business situation is easy to deal with in the sense that it's been happening. It's following me. So conflict in a business setting is easy to deal with because it's been happening from time immemorial. Our processes have been invested, laws are in place, people to help you with it are there. But it's not so for family conflict. First of all, even to know that you have a family conflict is not the easiest of things. I see people telling me, you know, I'm feeling out of sorts, you know, I don't know what's going on. Some of them even go to see doctors before they know that what they're dealing with is conflict at the family level. But then also, it takes away their ability to put their best in their business because they're out of sorts. But even when they recognize that there is family conflict, it is very difficult to seek support, to seek conflict resolution services. For some people, to come to my office, they must have to wear something over their head, or a kofia for that matter, because if you come to my office, people know that you are likely to be having a family conflict. And the reason is because of the stigmatization that we face in the society. And what does unresolved conflict do in a family situation? In a business situation? So you don't feel like getting up to go to work because of the unresolved conflict. Therefore, a lot of potential is wasted as a result of that. And then what happens is that if you're in business with your spouse or with your siblings and you're facing conflict, there's a very high likelihood that the business as you know it is not going to be the same once it's exposed to the courts, isn't it? And the legal infrastructure. So what do? You don't have any more the energy to continue serving in it. And people tell me, Judy, why am I going to put in any more energy in it? And I don't know how it will end up, isn't it? So we have seen big businesses, huge supermarkets chain, banks and others collapse because of conflict at the family level. So what am I saying? In the end, we need to have the ability to sense conflict. We need to have the ability and the capacity to seek conflict resolution. And I'm here to tell you that conflict resolution does not mean that you have to go to court. We have arbitration available. We have mediation services available. We have a lot of things that you could do to resolve conflict before it gets the better of you. The other challenge that I think women face, especially, is because of lack of, how do I say, intentionality. And maybe the word should not be lack of, okay? Intentionality in how they own their businesses. Like I said at the beginning when I was introducing, many a time, a woman will have put everything she has in a business only to find at the point of conflict that she owns only one share, okay? Or she, in fact, does not own anything in that business because it could be a business name. Chances are that she found the business operating, she came in, gave it all her all, but never checked how that business is owned. It's the same thing with access to security, that as we have been told here, we only own 1% of agricultural land, yet we are the ones who farm it. So again, intentionality. But also then knowing that there are certain things will be unable to change because certain things are the way they are. It's the way we are socialized to do. But can we ensure that those who come after us, those women, those girls, those boys who come after us will find a better place? Therefore, succession planning, intentional succession planning, because we are only mortal, we are only human beings. We are going to expire at some point. Can we be intentional about that? But also about estate planning. Why must the ones who come after us go through the same thing that we've gone through? What is it that we can do to ensure that the wealth we have worked for is continued, goes to the next generation, is divided in a manner in which our girls no longer have 1% of the agricultural land, but have 50% of the agricultural land and other resources. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Judy. Pertinent information coming out there. Mudhero, let me come to you. The image that stuck in my mind from what you shared earlier on was the woman who had the phone owned by her husband, right? And that spoke to the power dynamics that exist in our households. How are you as an institution offering that access, especially when it comes to financial literacy and empowering women further?
Quite a difficult one. As an educator, first, for me personally, is to keep every girl in school where I can. But the bigger problem lies in our poverty bands, where predominantly government is handling this issue. And that's where you get these statistics that are just appalling, where you hear girls 4 days a month are not in school, and therefore just the chance of success disappears while we are all watching as a country. And while the government has done quite a lot, I can tell you for free, right now the government does supply sanitary towels to all girls in public schools. It is the kids then who are not in school who are not served. And there's a surprisingly big number of children who still are not accessing education. And we need to keep working at that. For me now as an educator, I have to turn that question back to me and back to Family Bank somehow. Like I explained, I am your child. I'm that one who has not suffered. Okay? I am married and I work not in my family of choice, but in my birth family. Are you already seeing the problems? Yeah? Are you already seeing the problems? Perhaps why I'm still called Mudheu Kasanga. I don't come as Mrs. Swanso. Yeah? Are you seeing the problem? I'm a woman still at home. I am married, I have my children. Are you seeing what Judy was saying there about how women's wealth can disappear and does disappear? A small statistic that is very important is that women live longer than men. As of 2021, men, average Kenya, this is Kenya, you can Google this is available online. Men live for 58.94 years. Women live for 64. And as healthcare improves, women live longer, despite the workload that we carry. The man of the family dies, and the issues Judy has raised come up. They come up. So how do you prepare this? It is knowledge. It is knowledge. I have worked in my family business for 31 years. I remember the point at which my father converted all the businesses they held with his wife from partnerships to companies. And that was the turning point, because then all of us became owners. My father was a lawyer. Like I said, I have not suffered. I have not suffered. Yeah? So how many women continue to suffer because small decisions like this do not happen? Yeah? This is something Claudia and I, in our educational circles, not you, her. We see so much that women just lose. Somebody dies and that's it. That's it. Your livelihood disappears. Just like that. So what is it that we can do for education? I think it's more an advocacy thing. I sit on the KEPSA board, and I've done a lot of work in KEPSA over the years. I've sat over the education sector board. And one of the things we all championed was the change in the Companies Act to allow one person to form a company. Just you. As a woman, you don't even need land. Now go form a company. Move it from sole proprietorship. See how the bank will throw money at you. See how they will empower you. We are here now talking about queen banking. I hope, Rebecca, we can do baseline, just, education. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we start with those who can. Then we trickle it down. Webinars. I have learned so much personally from just listening in to somebody offering a webinar on, say, finance. I'm an English teacher, so finance for me is something you spend. Now to turn that into something I do to protect and grow needs a lot of teaching. And some of us, when you're on the art side of things, you fear numbers. But it takes a 30-minute course here, a 30-minute session there, a 3-day thing there. Just like that, in a safe space of people who are assumed not to know, to look at a ledger book and say, oh, it's not that difficult. Yeah? It's not that difficult. And once we begin, that is a journey of formalizing businesses. And then we secure them by succession planning. But remember this, I want you to take this home. I am your child. Okay? If I work at home and I get married, how do you deal with that complexity? Because as women, once you're married, you assume you're formed. You have left the WhatsApp group. You come for Christmas occasionally because you are expected elsewhere. Yeah. So these are one uniquely woman thing that never happens to men. It only happens to women. And it causes conflicts in families, and it is still unnavigated. Add that to it is an African. Thank God I'm not married to an African. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mudeo. Sally, we finish up with you. You shared your 7 Ps earlier on. Yes. And I'm curious, for any woman business owner sitting in the room from a Kenya Investment Authority perspective, telling her, look, this is what investors are looking for. How do I become, as a women business owner, investable and marketable?
Very good. Thank you, Victoria. Now, I said earlier that, and I wrote on what Rebecca said, that a time comes when you begin to build your legacy. You begin to see, what is it I'm giving back? When I was appointed as a chairperson of Kenya Investment Authority, and I'm one of these umbele people, there are those of you who are really nice, decent, and mannered. I am one of those umbele people, so I have to be managed, so I don't step out of the bounds of the mandate. A chair of a board is policy maker. You don't get involved in management as such. But I'm the type, don't appoint me there if you don't want me to make a difference, because I have to make a difference. So what it is, one of the things that I was very passionate about is a women's investment program. We call it Wekeza Dada. We launched it the other day in June during the KICO conference, the Kenya International Investment Conference, which we had in June. And we launched Wekeza Dada because I said, if there's something I want to leave as I exit Kenya Investment Authority, is a program for the women in investments. Because sometimes we trade, we do business and we trade, but we haven't, many of us have not yet stepped into the place of investments. That's the next level. And we started this, and basically the purpose here is to identify women-owned enterprises, women in business, and train or build capacity in those women, have the correct legal frameworks for that, provide the markets, the entrepreneurship hubs, and basically guide them on accessing capital in order to step into that empowered place of an investor. Now, when we facilitate investors at Kenya Investment Authority, when I joined, I told you I'm Mbele. When I joined, I taught them about venturers and vouchers. I told them in any situation, there will always be those who are coming to voucher on your country. They say they are coming to be investors and to do ventures, but at the end of the day, they are coming to rip you off. So they asked for such ridiculous incentives to be able to invest in your country. Mukifanya hesabu at the end of the day, you have been left worse than you were at the beginning when they came to do that manufacturing plant or that whatever it is they came to do. So I always tell the team, let's look out for the venturers, the ones who are coming to actually leave a value in our country when they say they're coming to invest. And there's a template, there's a guideline as to how you qualify to get the investment certificate. And one of the things it is to do with, is it going to add value to Kenya as a nation? Tax-wise, are you going to improve the revenue base of our country? Are you going to create jobs? Because even if you come and you want to start this electric cars or manufacturing of whatever it is, and it's good because they come with billions, yeah? At the end of the day, yes, at the end of the day, you will have talent or skills, and we don't want you to come with your own skills from abroad. And then Kenyans are just zubaring there watching how you're fixing the machines. We insist you have to transfer skills. We give you a minimum of the foreigners you can bring. And those foreigners, within 2 years, you must have transferred those skills, alafu muondoke tuendelee. So we insist on that. And the other thing we insist on is, apart from creating jobs, is community development. What positive impact is your investment having on our community? So as we start Wekeza Dada, and you come to us, and you want us to facilitate you as a woman entrepreneur and enterprises, we will be looking at your vision. We'll be looking at how will your enterprise and the investment also impact your society, your community, and the nation positively. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Can we give my panelists one more round of applause? You may take your seats. Caroline, thank you so much. Catherine, Sally, and of course, Judy and Mudeo. Fantastic, fantastic gems coming out of this session. Time is well spent, but at this juncture, we are just about to unveil this women's banking proposition that we've been hearing so much about throughout the morning. I'd like to invite the head of women's banking, that is Rose Gishuki. Can we give her a round of applause as she comes up to let us know more about this proposition?
Aya, simameni. Yeah, let's do this. Simumona Mungu. Yeah. Watumishi wako umewapa yote waombayo, ikiwa umependezwa. Kuna wakunipinga, hakika wewe ni Mungu. Unatawala dunia na vilivyomo, makuu umeyatenda. Jehova, hakika tumeuona mkono wako Bwana, kweli matendo yako Bwana ni makuu. Si ndio? Na umetutoa mbali kweli, ukatushika mkono Mungu mahali uliona pekee. Haya, chini hata chini watu unawainua, sifa na utukufu ni zako milele. Na tutakusifu jina lako Baba, daima wewe mwema, tutaishi kwako. Tumeona mkono wako Bwana ni makuu, na umetutoa mbali kweli. Well done. Well done. Woo-wee, shindwe. Good morning, ladies. All protocols observed. Asanteni sana. You're all VIPs. You're all part of this family. I am so excited. I'm out of breath.
Now it's not because of the hips, it's because I'm beautiful. Thank you. Lakini mko sawa? Has it been a good morning? Basi mimi niongezwe mshahara, si ndio? Bas, we are good to go. Nawapenda wote. Thank you very much because of time. Normally we do these things and the women and the partnerships that I've had, we start in the morning. It's supposed to end at 11. It ends at 4. Lakini leo tuko Vilaro. Kwa hivyo tutamaliza tu 11:30 on time. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming in today. My name is Rose Kamene, and I am so excited to see each one of you. Because my team and I, we know you by name. Why? Because you are part of the family. Who doesn't know their sisters, brothers, relatives, cousins, and aunties? Sindio? Ebu angalia next door neighbor umwambie, welcome, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you're handsome. If you're sitting next to a man, I can see Mr. Muya hajaambiwa na mtu. Maureen, please stand behind and tell the gentleman he's handsome. Thank you. Okay. The wonderful panelists. It is said when a woman knows better, she does better. Did you guys pick something? If you didn't pick anything, I want to tell you that you must learn that you're so important to us, that you will walk this journey with you, that you must walk confidently, that when you come into Family Bank, please remember we are a family. Our CEO is a woman, please. So munatayarisha maskat hivi, mahips, Mama Maura yuko, thank God. And then you walk confidently to the bank. But by the time you get to that bank, please know your staff. Si educators wako hapa Modeu. Si utawasomesha kama hawajui. I have partners. We will walk that journey with you. Know what you want so that when you come to the bank, you are telling our managers here, I'm here and I would like an unsecured loan of 7 million because my cash flows are like 50 million, and because I'm the CEO and because I know what I'm doing and because this is where I've come from, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm going. Sawa? Do not come to ask me when you look at me, how much do you think I qualify for? I don't know. Ni wewe ndio unajua. Tuko pamoja? Aya, thirdly, Mama Maura told you we must pay our debt. Why? Because hii pesa si ya mama ya. Sawa? Remember the money we give you is somebody else's money. Sawa? Tuko pamoja? Aya, we love you. So allow me to quickly, I won't read everything because you guys went to schools. And some didn't suffer, others suffered, but they're now PhD. And the ones who didn't suffer are not yet PhD. Makofi kwa wote. So what we are saying is that this is how the demographics of Kenya look like. We are 50% of the population. So if Kenya has 50 million people, it means 25 million are women. Hata ukitoa half of that again, 25, sijui ni 15 ama ni nini, those are the ones who are grown up, voting, potential customers of this bank. And we are going after them. And I'll tell you why. So women are starting businesses twice the rate of men. Why? Because the options are there. Because we are looking. Because now we know better. Sindio? Because we've been taught. Secondly, thirdly, 40% of all SMEs and micro are owned by women. Chama. So you know I work with women. All of you. I've interacted with you somewhere. Let me tell you. The other day I met 3 women. They do 1 million each. Excuse me, 1 million each. Where? Judith Ongori, where are you? We need to up our game. They do 1 million each in their chama, and they are 3, and then at the end of the week, not the month, at the end of the week, weekend, they give somebody 3 million. Hey, I asked myself, Jesus, where did I go wrong? But it is well. The other group, some powerful women, and they are looking at me and smiling. Waliniambia 310,000 each. Times sijui 20 per month. Total 6 million. At the end of the month, 3 women walk with 2 million, 2 million, 2 million. Okay? The 10,000 on top is for them kujibamba, please. They go out. They do big things with the 10,000, the extra. Sawa. So, in your 5,000, in your 10,000, in your 100, in your 1 million, we welcome you. You are valued. You can do this. Sawa. You will get there. Sawa. We were told it is a process. It's not a microwave process. Ati shui unatoka 3 minutes. Sawa. So you will get there, and we are here to hold your hand. So chamas hold about 300 billion in Kenya. Now, Kenya had a 49.7% of its total labor force coming from women. 80% of the women ni wakulima, and that's why we will focus also on that sector, agric, because that's where our women are playing. And most of our women, even me when I retire, I'm always looking at chickens, cows, where do I go, water, wash, which sector do you want to go? Where cheka tu na tuko na wewe. Tutanunua ng'ombe ukambani. Then women save 82% of the savings in Kenya are by women. But they're only receiving this much credit. Actually, I don't know who put 10% here. It's actually 1% credit. So, that is the statistic. You guys are saving more than you're borrowing. You must borrow to grow. Good debt, bad debt. Be on the side of good debt. It will help you go to the next level. It has helped many women. We have seen it. So basically, we are saying women are underrepresented in this space. Haya, I was given this thing na nimesahau vile kanafanya. Sijui huko. Hey, I don't know whether I took it forward or behind now, but here we are. Yes. So, look at our customer base. Wanawake, hebu tupigieni makofi. We are at 410 women banking in Family Bank. Sawa. So if you are here, please ask your manager, or you're listening to me, to code you female. Because once we launch, there are so many things that we will be doing that you don't want to miss out on. So if you're here, you have a company, please ask if you're coded accordingly. Tell your manager to code you, so that when we go to the database and sort by female, we can identify you and we can take you for those nice courses that we'll be having. We'll be looking at women like Sally Mahihu, because Sally is young, and she knows some things about being young. Akina Margaret here, Akina Phyllis, Akina Catherine. When you see me sweating, it's because it's a healthy glow in makeup. It's not because of those other things you are thinking at personal summer, at nini. We have owned them nowadays, and we know how to go through them. And I love the new strength that women have, that these days, Jules, when you're seated somewhere, have you seen a woman produce a fan? Fearlessly. Shh. I love you women. Clap for yourselves. You are fearless. They produced the fans before we would hide. I would wonder why my mom is carrying a katauro, because it was looking so uncool. These days I can carry a towel. I even have something attached to my waist here, if you don't know, in case of emergency. So we are fearless because we are wonderfully and beautifully made. Sindio? Yes, even some people wonder, hey, those hips, they are mine. See, people are buying them. And God has given them to me. And then swagger yours, man. You're beautiful. Clap for yourselves. You're beautiful. This is a gift. We are all gifted differently, and you must leave a legacy in the space you're in. That is what matters. Do you have character, like we were told? Sindio? Yeah. So every woman is beautiful. Sasa hapa ndio characteristics zenyu. You guys are good at paying debt. You guys are not risk averse. You are risk aware. Sawa? I'll change that to aware. You don't go into anything without scrutiny. So we love you as a bank, and we are ready to support you because you pay our debts, you are risk aware. By the time you go into something, we know you've thought through it seriously. Then you will come for all these other products, for your children, for yourself, for your husband, and for everybody else. You're good at savings, but most importantly, you're loyal in your relationships if we treat you right. And that's where we want to go. We want to up our game. We want to be in your spaces. We want to get personal. We want to know what is it that is in here. What is it that is in here? Where do you want to go? And we are going to walk that journey with you. Now, look at this. This is the journey of a woman. Sindio? See, one day you are a princess with ponytails and piggies. Wale watoto wenyu wako hii age, we have an account we call Mudosi Junior. Mudosi Junior. In Kikamba we say, onambaka ya monene no mone. Kumbe nyinyi Wakamba nyi wote. Habari zenyu. It means, Jules, that even the cat of a rich person is a rich cat. So, how does Mudosi Jr. understand that they are rich? How is he being taught to handle money? So that in your legacy, Mudosi Jr. is not fighting over your estate. He's already been trained from a young age. So we will work with your children also. The young ones, the old ones. So we have Mudosi Jr., we have Scholar when she goes to high school. We have prepaid cards. You can give her a prepaid card so that they learn how to budget when they're in university. You put the money there and watch. Don't be overbearing, overprotective. These guys are going out there into the wild, wild west. Start training them when they are in these ages how to handle money. Then you become a professional queen and a businesswoman. And then you open an account in family. Tuko pamoja. We start walking the journey of business. So, hey, you get married. You become a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, an auntie, a homemaker. A lifesaver, a life giver, the bedrock of a nation. You guys are the bedrock of Kenya. Can you clap for yourselves again? Kenya can't do without women. Samoei Ruto can't look good in New York without Rachel supervising the socks. Zimepasuka ama zijapasuka. Sindio? Hata ka vest, it must be matching. Sindio? So we cook for them. We are the bedrock of this nation. We are smart. We are intelligent. Now, what does the Kenyan woman want? You guys have told us you want recognition. We salute you. Watu wa bank, can you salute these great women? I salute you, I salute you, I salute you. We recognize you. We will walk with you where you are. You want simplicity. Those long stories that bank give us to work a candle. Simple forms, simple everything. You want to learn how to keep track of your finances, your businesses. You want education and information. You want to know where the markets are. You want to know how to do your books. You want to know what cash flows are. Frida Wingo is not here. She does passion profit for us very well. Then you want us to consider and to walk with you this journey of educating your children and protecting your business. You are in business. How are you protecting that business? I keep saying today we are swinging here in Villarosa, Kepinski. I used to wear high heels, 6 inches. Ninaenda tu nikiteremka. See, one day I'll find myself huko. Sindio? You must think about that future. You must think, if my business collapsed today, can I recover from where it is? If a building came down, if there was a fire, can I come back up? If I'm the only person who is in charge, what is my legacy? Kazi yote nimefanya, it will just, the shop will shut down and then we go to Shags to kunywa coffee or for golf at Mutaiga. Is that what will happen? So you must think about that future. Now, which are our focus areas when we launch this proposition? These are our focus areas. Women in business. So we are looking at the women in agric, women in water, sanitation and health. Business opportunities mingi sana there. Okay, you can get a funding of up to 2.5 million. Dig a borehole, start selling water in the neighborhood. It's unsecured. Sawa. You can even build an ablution block in the city and start charging 20 bob as you're sitting. Sindio? There are so many opportunities here. You're in chicken, you're in cows, whatever it is you're doing in this space, there is business opportunity. Kenya cannot produce enough food for ourselves. Sindio? Let's go in there. We have enough land. We can do a lot. So if you're in that space, we are with you. If you're in general trade finance, we have a powerful woman here called Rahab. Rahab, are you in this space? Rahab, what trade? There she is. That woman, mark her. If you're importing stock financing, tunakuletea mizigo, tunakulipia pia KRA. Sindio? How many people know Rahab here? By a show of hands. Unawaona? Hawataki kuinua because they have millions. I know them. They are even here. Women in education. Kasanga. See, we have worked with your family. Totally. We are still working with you. Then TVETs. Tuko pamoja. So the woman in business, the professional woman, you and your community, your Mudosi Junior, your Chama accounts, we have a Chama product, and the woman and her environment. Foundation is very powerful. John Waimiri, CEO, are you here? John is our CEO. The other day we graduated 150 women. Guess what? in plumbing and electrical engineering. 18-year-olds to 24-year-olds from Babadogo, Kariobangi, and all that. They are self-reliant right now. Clap for Waimeri and the team and Family Bank. Thank you very much for supporting us. Now, this is what we are offering: financial offering and non-financial offering. So basically, access to credit, we will address your needs, all your financial needs in that space. Credit, savings, insurance, protection, and all that. Lakini hapa ndio tutashinda na nini. We will walk. We will educate you, we will inform you, we will recognize you. We want wellness. We want groups that are going to India to just get checked for 4 days. Sindio? Through our business club. So that we also ensure that we are doing well. Sindio? So this, go back to the slide, the other one. So in this space here, education, capacity building, mentorships, you can read market intelligence, we will do that with you. And the CSR get-togethers, nini, partnership discounts, kama mnataka kwenda kutengenezwa nywele, wahoo, you're here. Afrosiri, we want discounts. We want to come and hang out with you there. Then networking platforms like today. Please, if you don't greet a new person today, I don't know why you are here. But that is our reason for bringing you here. So that you can greet this lady right here. Margaret, huyo mama umekaa na yeye hapo, anaitwa Maureen. Maureen ni wa Africa Guarantee Fund, regional boss. Maureen, Margaret is one of our top clients. Actually, one of your top clients. Make sure you greet her. So make sure you know who is sitting next to you. It could be your next big thing. Sindio, tuko pamoja so far. This is our offering. Mumeambua 7 million. Anything a bank, we are loaded. We have money. Please come. Sawa. So I won't go through this. We are serving every woman professional. If you are salaried, we have unsecured loans of up to 6 million. Karibuni sana. Next. Chama woman, we are also working with your groups. We are giving you money to develop yourselves. So bring your groups. Now, it is said that when women move forward, the world moves. So we are saying hashtag WWW for life. Working with women for life. I am here to work with each one of them. Can any member of Family Bank, wherever you are, stand up so that you can identify whoever is closest? Let me recognize you. Stand up quickly, my colleagues. These people have given me support in this space that is unbelievable. They have promised that they are going to walk with you. Because sometimes I'll be in a gathering, but those are the numbers you require. Sindio? Those are the ground forces. Sindio? They will support you, and I guarantee you. And my number is with everybody. If you are stuck, call me. Me, I'm the advocate for you guys on this side. Sawa? All right? So I want to thank you. I want to bless you, and I want to really honestly, I'm honored to be the head of women banking for this bank because I get to meet extremely great women. God truly bless you, and God bless the work of your hands. Sawa? Asanteni sana. It was fast. We will engage you further. After this, we'll come into the counties. We will come where you are. Okay? Tuko pamoja? Thank you very much. Vicky, that was really rushed. Hata nimesweat, lakini I'm very
Thank
happy.
you.
Thank you.
One more round of
God
applause for
bless you.
Rose Gishuki for so elaborately taking us through the Queen banking proposition. Now, this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I can see the fan has come out. I'd like to invite some special people on stage to join me. Family Bank CEO Rebecca Mbidi, kindly join me on stage. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Jules Ngakam, to also join us. A group CEO of AGF, Sandra Masharia, kindly join us as well. Oh, she's not with us. Okay. We also have Mary Mburu, Board Director, Family Bank. Please join us on stage. Honorable Wamushomba, Mheshimiwa, please join us, as well as Senator Mutinda. Please join us on stage. And at this juncture, if we can give room for the screen so we can be on either side of the screen, thank you. Because we have a special video to play just to give you a bit more insight into what Queen's banking is all about. We can go ahead and play the clip.
Every day, millions of women across the world seek to bridge the gap on social, political, and economic inequalities. They seek a partner to walk the journey of life with. Women are the heartbeat of our society. They raise and hold our families together. They are a significant force driving economic growth. Family Bank has made a commitment to bridge this gap, to be the partner that our women so much seek for prosperity, to be the partner at the heart of every woman seeking growth and progress every step of life. Family Bank, every woman, your financial partner dedicated to empowering women, giving you access to credit, making dreams a reality. We are here to build and grow our women. We pride ourselves in offering the best savings and investment options. Our women insurance proposition is unmatched in the industry. We are more than your financial partner. We educate and inform you so that you can know better to do better. We connect our women to other like-minded women so you can thrive in the power of networking and market linkages. We care about your well-being because your success is the heart of the family and our business. Ladies and gentlemen, now introducing Queen Banking by Family Bank. Walking with women for life.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the official launch of Queen Banking by Family Bank. Fantastic. A request on Rebecca, Jules, and Sandra to make their way to the center stage as we also hand over the card, a beautiful purple. And we know what purple means in royalty. Certainly, certainly. Kindly make your way to the center stage. Wonderful, as we set up a photo. Members of the press, I know you have to get this money shot. So let's get set up there. Fantastic. Great, as we hand over that card. Hopefully many of us sign up for that this afternoon. Wonderful. The Queen Banking proposition officially launched. Wonderful. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Kindly stay on stage. I'd like to invite the founder, Family Bank, Mr. TK Muya. Okay, fantastic. And we have our panelists to join us on stage. Madam Sally Mahihu, Caroline Armstrong, if she's still with us. Catherine Musakali, also join us on stage. Udeu Kasanga, thank you, thank you, thank you. Julius Moya, if you are in the house with us, Director Julius, if you are in the room, kindly join us on stage. Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful, as we populate the stage, they're celebrating this momentous occasion and launch of Queen Banking. Wonderful, wonderful. Board members with us from Family Bank, kindly join us on stage. Madam Phyllis Kimani, Rose Gishuki, kindly make your way up on stage as well. And we have a special gift for all of you. Thank you so much for your patience, courtesy of Family Bank, so don't leave just yet. Wonderful, wonderful. And there we have the team that made this possible. Congratulations to them once again. Can we give them a round of applause? And last but not least, we have the Muya family in the building. The Muya family, if you are here, kindly join us on stage as well. We can't leave you out of this wonderful, wonderful occasion. There they are. Can we give them a round of applause? Looking lovely in purple. Fantastic. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Critical members of this whole process. Thank you so much. Thank you all. You may take your seats. Thank you for indulging us. Wonderful. Can we give our chief guests and our speakers a round of applause? Thank you so much. And to yourselves as well for keeping us company up until this point. Do we have the executive committee with us. Executive Committee, Family Bank, kindly make your way up on stage. And Madam CEO, if you indulge me once more to make it back up on stage, thank you so much. Executive Committee members, kindly make your way up. Can we get the card back? We need the card. That is our feature of the morning. There it is. Fantastic. Right over there. Thanks, Phyllis. Thank you so much. Executive Committee members, there they are making their way up. Thank you so much for your contribution. These are the quiet faces behind the product launch this morning. Thank you all. Thank you, fantastic, thank you so much. Oh, we have one more person to join. Gina from marketing. She was the woman behind all of this planning. Can we give her a round of applause? Thank you, Gina. Fantastic. Okay, and the women banking team. We can't leave you out, my goodness. You were the planners behind this Queen banking proposition. The women's banking team, kindly make your way up on stage. Thank you. And I believe the gifts are also being passed out now. Thank you so much for your patience. The women's banking team. Okay, Rose Ishuki is coming up. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. I see them coming up slowly. Selena and Grace, are you in the room? Kindly join us on stage as well. Thank you so much for your invaluable contribution to this wonderful, wonderful product. They're coming up just now. Wonderful. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Area managers present. Area managers. We're not leaving anyone out. We'll call the whole room if we need to. Area managers, Family Bank. Area managers in the room. Okay. Area managers in the room, kindly make your way up. I can see them coming up slowly. Fantastic, fantastic. Great, great, great. Thank you so much. Wonderful. And the gifts are coming around. They will be delivered personally to your table, so don't move. They will find you. Thank you so much, Area Managers, Family Bank. Wonderful, representing the institution ably. Thank you so much for your contribution. Wonderful, wonderful. We've put Phyllis to work, and I'm about to put her to work once again. So at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move a vote of thanks. Thank you so much. If the gifts aren't enough, certainly the team is indebted for your time and your insights as well throughout the morning. So I'm going to call on Phyllis Kimani to come up on stage to move a vote of thanks.
All protocols observed. I tell you, this room is a testimony that we've come this far. And there's no way we could have done it alone without you. It only calls for a community and more so a sisterhood. And I believe that's the reason why you've come here in big numbers. And to every woman who is present here today, thank you for purposing to be part of this lounge. To all women customers, and today now, you are our queen. We are here today to support and invest, as we had said earlier, in your dreams. Thank you for believing in our vision and your confidence in us as your financial partner, evidenced today by your presence and leaving out your very busy schedules to be here with us this morning. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, a woman is like a tea bag. You cannot be able to tell how strong, how sweet they are until you put them in water. But ladies and gentlemen and my dear sisters, We've been through this hot water for too long. And it is now time to grow and flourish with Family Bank. For that, let's take a moment to clap for ourselves because we've done a good job. Like any other journey, today is just a beginning of a beautiful journey. Just like the mantra of this proposition, WWW for life, that is Walking with Women for Life. As a bank, we want to be in these spaces that matters to most and to every woman. We want to win with every woman in every aspect, like health, legal, investment, the sister squads, the households, the businesses, and even in our alumni groups. Through the right partners who have joined us here today, we will be collectively creating a holistic woman who thrives in every aspect of her life. Our key financial partner, the Africa Guarantee Fund, represented by the group CEO today, Julius, has continued to supporting us by ensuring women businesses actualize their full potential through funding. You've been extremely instrumental in conceptualizing this proposition, and we are grateful for the effort you are making towards the growth of women in this country. When women come together, change happens. And to our credible panelists for the day, you've made change for sure in a reality. And I believe we have learned today. One thing we've learned, Nova, isn't it? And we say there is the me thing. I tell you, Sarimahihu, we had a men conference on Wednesday this week where she took all the men, all the gentlemen of Family Bank through a training. And you can imagine the curiosity with us women and girls. We are asking them, what were you told? And they were telling us, it's classified. And Sally, you don't have an option, you must do a women conference. You must compensate for us. And she left our bank on fire. And I can tell you the men in our banks are just saying, we need a season 2 because it was quite amazing. Thank you to our panelists for the day. Thank you, ladies, for being part of the conversation and bringing to the perspective what is being done and what can be done to ensure that women are supported to reach their goals. Your roles in the respective fields that you play are inspiring to other women as they look forward to what is possible and achievable. You will agree with me that working together for change goes beyond gender. And our founder, TK Moya, in absentia, and our board of directors led by Wilfred Kiboro. And we have Julius with us here, and our board queen, Madam Mary Mboro. You've provided the bank with the right guidance and governance every step of the way. And your leadership have been critical and instrumental, and we thank you for being agents of change. The catalyst of this event has been the management of Family Bank, led by our able CEO, Madam Rebecca Bethe. Madam CEO, thank you for being the driving force behind this proposition. You've provided us with the necessary resources and support to actualize this big dream. You've held this project close to your heart, and that reflects that bank's vision of driving financial inclusion and gender empowerment in all sectors. It goes without saying that the dedication and hard work of my colleagues at Family Bank is what has brought this offering to what it is today. You've worked tirelessly to ensure today's success has been very instrumental in bringing this innovation to life. I'm extremely proud of your energy, creativity that you've put to ensure that this vision has been actualized. Thank you so much for your effort has borne fruits. To all men in this room, kindly stand. All gentlemen who are in this room. You are our he for she champion. And I can tell you, your presence in this room has made us even feel more secure. We love you because you are the head and we are the heart. Let's give them a loud of applause as they sit down. To the members of the 4th Estate. Thank you for gracing our event and helping to bring our vision to the public. We are grateful for your continued support. And before I leave the stage, special thanks to our Director of Ceremony, Victoria Rubadiri. Thank you for keeping the conversation going and steering today's event. Wahu Madenge, Ruth Wamoyo, June Gashue, thank you for entertaining us and keeping us lively throughout this particular event. To our third-party agencies that is in charge of our PR, digital, creativity, interior deco, our technical team, thank you for making this day memorable. To our hosts, Vera Rosa Kempinski, thank you for being our gracious host. And to every woman in this country and beyond, this is our promise, that we are going to walk with you for life. And we promise we are not going to disappoint, that whatever we've promised, we are going to deliver. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Phyllis Kimani, Chief Retail Officer. Can we give a round of applause? And that brings us to the close of this momentous morning. Do you feel full? Not just physically, but also spiritually, mentally. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. I also have a few people I need to recognize before I forget. All right, in our presence, we have Diana Kamande, HSC. She is the founder, CEO of Come Together Widows. Thank you so much for joining us. Sharon Mosin, a country rep of ASOL Africa. Fantastic. Judy Njino, I saw her a bit earlier on, Executive Director of UN Global Compact. Last but not least, Wayuya Nambayo, who is from FSD, or Financial Sector Deepening. Thank you so much for joining us, and to all of you. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure being your Director of Ceremonies. Yes, change the name. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the day. Enjoy. Breakfast is still being served just behind the room and outside as well. Continue to network. Remember, your network is your net worth. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much.
Let's go. 2, 3.
Check 1, 2. Just a kind reminder, kindly remain seated. Gifts are still coming around. Kindly remain seated until you receive your gift, but enjoy the flower project as they go along. Thank you.
Sangasela nenge ninyonga yo baninga nabo lukasela ya bongo o batwa mokili mabe yo nako lukasela lobi ko take me by the hand, show me the way I can go, take me by the hand, show me the way, take me by the hand, show me the way I can go, take me by the hand, show me. nzela ya bomoi